Sync. We didn't start audio. Oh. The whole marker. What's up, buddy?
Practice. We're out of practice.
We are out of practice. It was 2 weeks.
It feels like it's been so much longer than 2 weeks. It honestly does.
And I was getting a lot of flack. People were commenting in videos and on Instagram and stuff. They're like, "Hey, man, weren't you guys doing this weekly podcast called Whiskey Night?" Like, what the fuck happened? I'm like,
now,
yeah.
For what it's worth, it's mostly my fault. Right, like my internet,
50% ownership of that.
Well, my internet has been spotty for a month now, and every time I tried to call and get it fixed, they're like, "You're in an outage area, and we can't help you." And I'm like, "I have internet,
right?
It's just spotty. Like I have download speeds that are great. My uplink is horrible. Please fix this. I pay business prices for a reason. Please
fix my shit immediately. Please and thank you."
Yeah.
Well, and I think people probably realize, the podcast, the audio version, we did a pretty good job, or you did a pretty good job of editing it to where you can't see the mistakes. But any people that watch the live stream know the last 2 live streams, we had some technical difficulties because your internet bombed out.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
So hopefully we don't have any tonight. Hopefully we're all back up and running. Everything's running full speed ahead.
I have a plan B if things go sideways, but I've not had a blip in my internet for, I don't know, a week and a half now. So
it's Murphy's Law, though. That's how it works. You could not have a blip for a month, and then as soon as you try to do some shit like this, it's like, it just takes a dump right in your face. Big old hot Carl.
100%.
Is that what a hot Carl is?
I don't know, but I told you that I wanted to start this with
two things. Sorry. So before I go off on a tangent, because I will.
Yeah. 2 things. One. Fall does not last long enough. I don't care where you are in the world. It just doesn't. It's the best season. It's amazing. 2, I'm getting there. Number 2, I feel so sorry for you because you really just don't get fall.
No, dude. No, we don't. Well, we do. Like for a day, mate. Like some years we don't, and some years we get it for like a week. Like it goes from hot to cold. And what I say is cold, you guys probably don't think it's cold, but like it goes down to where at night it's in like the 40s. During the days it might be in the 50s or 60s, which here is freaking cold, but I know other places not. We go from one to the other. Sometimes we get these majestic years where we get like a nice month of like this beautiful weather. But the one thing we don't get to experience that you guys do that I miss from living up north, because I have not lived in Florida my entire life, is the Wisconsin, the trees turning. Yeah. We don't really have trees here. I mean, we have trees here, but they're palm trees and pine trees. So
we have a short season. It feels like it used to be longer of leaves changing. One of my favorite times to head up to the mountains because it's trees everywhere, right? I mean, it's amazing. It looks like incredible. I am so jealous of Peter because
it's beautiful.
His vlog from last week, I think it was, maybe the week before, where they went and took those photos. Mm-hmm. Dude, just
gorgeous, man.
Gorgeous. The best, but I do not envy his winters because they're fucking cold.
Well, and this is what me and my wife talk about all the time, because I've talked to you about it. I've talked to the Bourbon Junkies about it. I really want to eventually buy another piece of property in like South Carolina somewhere, like the northern part of South Carolina, northwestern part of South Carolina.
Just cross the border and go to the better Carolina. Okay.
North Carolina. Either I want it to be within driving distance of here because I don't want to sell this house. I want to be able to drive there and go up there for the weekend, right? So I don't want it to be like a 9-hour drive. I want it to be like within 5-6 hours max. But anyway, point is, the one thing I do not miss about winter that I remember, because I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, I lived up in Baltimore, Maryland for a while, is the fucking gray, bro. The gray. In the winter, it would go gray and it would stay fucking gray for like 6 or 8 weeks. You would not see the sun. It was miserable. I hated that shit.
Dude, I love it.
You
I
like
love
the gray?
Yeah.
I don't like the gray, man.
I love everything from the very beginning of fall to the end of spring. And then summer can go fuck itself.
Summer can go fuck itself.
I hate it so much.
I say that because I live in the state of almost eternal summer, right? And I fucking hate summer. But
before we go any further, I know we're like jumping all over the place. We're out of practice, so ignore us. But
this is going to be a random one anyway.
Yeah, what's on your wrist, man?
Oh, same. I think, was this what I was wearing last time?
I don't know. You only have like 3 watches, so
I only have like 4, right? And it's the Oris, Diver 65.
We're almost twinning right now. Look at this. Yeah, I got my Laurier.
Oh, they are. That's a very similar situation. Very similar situation.
Yeah.
I actually, until yesterday, I hadn't had this watch on in a while. I hadn't had it on for a couple of weeks. I can always tell because you look at how far back the date was when you put it on, and you're like, oh shit, it's been a minute since I put this watch on.
Hey, speaking of what we were just talking about with the weather and watches, I had worn this one in a while, and I put it on my wrist, and the last time I wore it, it was like 95 outside, and I was all swole because it's hot.
That bitch was dangling.
Dude, it was cold in my office. I mean, last time we podcasted, I was wearing a t-shirt and sweating, and this time I'm in a hoodie because, well, it's 80 outside, or was when I came in, but like this morning it was 50 degrees. So we're in that time of year where the temperature just swings hard in morning and night.
Your balls just can't get used to it. Your balls, like, they're sucked up tight because it's cold, and then they're hanging down to your knees because it's hot, and your balls are just freaking out. They don't know what to do.
Well, you're an old man, so maybe you deal with that. I don't have that far of a swing just yet.
Oh, they swing. They want to get away from your body when it's hot. When it's hot, they want to escape the heat. They're like, I've got to go. Now, it does get worse the older you get. I'll give you that.
But with the thing about the watch is I've been struggling to wear bracelets because it's the temperature change is just so dramatic. I'm like, now it's tight. Now it's loose. Now it's tight. Now it's loose. But with the Christopher Ward, that's about the only one I can really wear on a bracelet consistently because it has that quick adjust clasp. But still, I
had that the other day, and because we have had a couple days where we've had a couple temperature swings. I mean, for us, temperature swings, right? Where
like 5 degrees.
No, at night it actually got down in like the 60s, right? Which for us, woo, But then during the day it was like 85 or 90.
Did you break out your winter coat?
Right. So you mix like going down to 60s at night with doing the 80s and humid during the day, and then like you eat some bacon in the morning or something, and you're all over the place. Like between the salt retention and the temperature change, like I literally did the micro adjustments on my watch, I think 3 times in a day. I couldn't get it right. It was driving me crazy. I was like, fuck, now it's tight. And it feels like my hand's going numb. Then it went loose. I'm like, oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
The thing is, like with watches, even if you're wearing a bracelet or the leather strap or a NATO or anything, like that sort of shift in temperature and your body size and whatnot in that short amount of time, it doesn't matter what kind of strap you have on your watch. You just can't deal with it unless you have something that has quick micro adjust.
Nope. Because I had the same problem with my leather strap. It's a little quicker to do because you just got to unbuckle it and go to the next one instead of fucking with, the pins on the micro adjust. But I still have to move where the pin's at 2 or 3 times a day.
My problem is I always feel like I'm in between the holes. I just always am. It's so
right
frustrating.
Right in between the holes.
Right. Yes. Right there in them. All right. What's the knife? What's your
actually, man? This is the same one since the last podcast. I love this knife, and see, I'm not a great person to do pocket dumps on because I do rotate a lot, but man, sometimes when I really get something I like, I'll rock it for 2 or 3 weeks and not want to change because I just,
I change almost daily. So that is the Rex 45 copper Para 2.
No, that is the Para 2 with the micarta Rick.
Dude, it looks like copper.
No, it's green.
I see it now.
No, I could definitely see why you would think that that's copper, but yeah, that's just that green micarta.
Wow.
It's got
that looks like straight up copper.
It did, but no, that.
Whoa.
You know what I found that I just love about this, especially after, because the last knife I carried for a while before this one was the copper version of this. I love the copper one.
It's heavy as shit.
It's one of my favorite knives. But the dramatic difference between going from a copper scaled knife to a micarta scaled knife, dude, there's such a dramatic weight difference. Such a dramatic weight difference.
In the pocket today for me is...
Oh, see, you had to fucking flex like that, didn't you? You son of a bitch.
Shirogorov F95 RT.
Yep. He just dumped right on my face. He was like, oh.
Look at this.
He's like, oh, you're nice little, that's a nice little PM2 you've got there. Hold on, let me show you this like $500 knife. Or is it even more than that? What am I saying?
Retail on these is 11.
Oh, okay. So you really shit on me. You just straight didn't even give me the courtesy of a reach around. Just
all right. You low key flex on me with your whiskey collection every video. So it's
a low key flex back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for a lot of guys, that's not even a flex, man. A lot of guys are into whiskey, and it's like the bourbon junkies, my buddies, we talk about all the time, which they did say they want to be on here, and we just need to make that happen. Figure out what night we can all be on here. That'd be a lot of fun. But, I need to send you some samples before we do that though. But, I think they've got like 400 and some bottles now.
Dude, that is nuts.
It's so much whiskey, dude. That's so much whiskey. What are you drinking? What are you going to drink tonight?
Well, I told you before we got on here that I absolutely crushed this bottle. This was actually one of the most recent bottles I purchased, which is Old Forester Statesman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gone. It's long gone.
We talked about that on the podcast last time, right? About how that was like an underrated bottle that kind of caught a little bit of shit because it was kind of like a marketing thing along with that movie. So people kind of didn't give it the credit that it was due, but a lot of people say it's a really, really I've never actually tried it, or I think I might have a long time ago, but I don't remember it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah. I'm digging it enough to buy a second bottle. If they had another 1920, I probably would have bought that. I don't know why I opened this way. I'm such a noob.
A lot of times it depends on, I'll run a knife around it.
I cut the plastic for some reason rather than pulling the
bottle it is. If it's a super expensive bottle, I'm like super careful about opening it because I want it to look all purty because I'm a bitch like that. If I spent $200 on a bottle, I want it to stay pristine looking. Oh, that was a good
America.
One. That was America for all you, that motherfucker. I still can't believe that guy.
You're going to be upset about that for a very long time.
Dude, normally comments don't get me, but that one pissed me off so bad because he insulted America. That's just fucking rude. Oh, you can insult me all you want, but goddamn it, don't insult America. It's funny. I was speaking of America. I did a video about a cigar the other day, Paul Stulak, and he's a Canadian guy. And in the video, I was mentioning how much Canadian dudes are just crushing it right now. Like, think about all the good YouTubers that are Canadians. How many awesome YouTubers are Canadian? A bunch.
Yeah.
A bunch. Paul Stulak, one of the better cigars I've had in the last 6 months. Fucking Canadian guy. I'm like, what is up with these Canadians just crushing pussy right now? Just crushing it.
Dude, you've turned me into an Old Forester believer, man.
Dude, Old Forester, and I tell you, it's not just Old Forester, man. It's Brown Forman, the father company that owns, because Woodford is under the same Brown Forman, and Woodford's another one, man. Woodford Double Oaked is a fucking fantastic whiskey.
I crushed that bottle too. Yeah, dude, not the new bottle. This, I still have the other one.
Oh, dude, listen, that was a deep one. Oh, I didn't do it the second time.
Yeah, I still have this bottle, but I crushed that first bottle of Double Oaked.
Have you ever had any of this? You should try some of this if you can. If you can.
I've had it. I didn't like it.
What? You don't like Eagle Rare?
I didn't like it. I mean, it's been probably 4 or 5 years, so my tastes have definitely changed.
Yeah, I think you should try it again. I think you will probably.
The thing is, I haven't seen it in 4 or 5 years either. So,
it's funny because for a long time I had a really hard time finding this in my area, and lately it hasn't been too bad. Now this is the one that I'm going to warm up to and break out next after we get through that. Now this one you'll have a hard time finding.
I'm going to have a hard time finding pretty much everything.
Ag Junior, man.
And dude, the prices of stuff. The other one I bought tonight is one I haven't had in about a year. Lafroig 10. All this stuff. But the last time I bought a bottle of Lafroig, it was about $45. And tonight,
like Scotch has gone up.
I've been waiting for that price to go down or for it to go on sale. It was $67 for Lefroy 10, which is just nuts.
Well, you know,
That's such a bad price.
The last time I bought Lagavulin 16, it had gone up like $10 or $15 in my area. It was under 100 last time I bought it. It was high 80s, maybe low 90s. But I think last time I bought Lagavulin, I want to say it was like 105, 110. So it had gone up a good $15, $10, $15 since last time. So maybe there's a Scotch thing going on right now with Scotch prices. I don't know.
Somebody in the Discord earlier asked me, is Lagavulin 16 really $100 where you are? And I said, yeah, it's $100. And
yeah,
he said it's 80 at my local Total Wine, used to be 70.
Yeah. I think Scotch prices are going up for, I don't know if it's just the nature of the whiskey culture. So it's supply and demand, or COVID. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine COVID be having a big effect because all this shit was aged 10 years ago or put in a barrel a long time ago before COVID was around. So I don't really know. But I started seeing
prices
seeing the prices go up before COVID though. Cause the last time I bought Lagavulin was prior to any of this shit hitting the fan, and it had gone up like $10 or $15. I don't know what's going on. That'd be an interesting question to ask somebody in the whiskey,
in the
know, deeper into maybe the bourbon junkies know something about it. We haven't.
Maybe.
This is a cigar I'm smoking. I have to bring this up real quick because I'm excited about this cigar.
The first half of this podcast is basically just turned into like, this is all of the stuff that we have on us and are consuming.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited about this one.
Throat singing over there.
Yeah, I was doing a little throat metal, little Cookie Monster metal. This is a Padron Family Reserve 1964. And dude, I only bought this today because I was celebrating a little bit because we're doing the drops, which actually we should go into the drops. Because we got to do some shameless plugging, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is like a $30, $27 to $30 cigar. At least in my area it is. I don't know. I normally don't buy cigars that expensive, but I love these. And so I bought one for tonight. That's just that's how the shit's going down tonight.
I had to replenish my stock. I took my Ardbeg home and the 1920, and I had like a few bottles left here, and I was like, I need to go pick some stuff up, even though I've been having too much. I stopped drinking beer, and I don't know if this is something we talked about last time or if it's something that happened between the last podcast and now, but dude, I had to stop. I was feeling like heavy and sluggish and just blah. And it's probably because I was drinking too much beer. So I switched over to drinking a little bit of whiskey, and
I mean, my feelings.
Yeah, you don't like beer.
It's not that I don't like beer. There are some beers that I actually do enjoy. I've said it many times. I like a good
Bud Light.
No, that's for people that are drinking for a purpose.
Bush Ice.
Yeah, let's be honest, you're not drinking Bud Light for the flavor. Okay, let's be real. If you're drinking Bud Light, you're drinking it because you're at the beach and you're just trying to be able to drink beer all day. You know what I mean? Because it's not.
Same with Trulies. Oh, speaking of Trulies, can I say something really quickly?
Yeah, dude, we got to get into that with the drops.
Guys, I just have to say, Jeremy gave me his blessing.
No, I did not. You fucking liar.
He texted me and he said, there's a gift for you in the mail. It's out for delivery. And I approve of your drinking Truly. And I have sent you a man card to commemorate your status as a real man who can still drink Truly.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the real story behind that, right? So we're going into the shameless plugs, right? So these are the man cards. Me and Taylor both work with the same company, by the way, just so you guys kind of understand the backside of this. There's a company called Exclusive, which is the same guys that do Big Idea Design. They came out with a company and they decided that they wanted to work with creators, leverage their manufacturing skills and their contacts and stuff to work with creators to make custom cool shit from scratch. So this isn't stuff where we're going to like, and I have a Zippo that I'm coming out with soon. This isn't stuff like this where, you go and you just get something engraved on it. This is stuff that we design with them from the ground up and they create it. Right. So it's really cool stuff. But the man card was my first thing, and is dropping. My Patreons already have access. I've sent them the password to get early access. And then Friday, me and Taylor are both doing a drop. you're doing a second drop of your TPTs. You already dropped these once, right?
Yeah. So these are the TPT slides that I had a topo pattern lasered on.
This is the better one.
So this is basically exactly what Jeremy was saying we're not doing, where I took a product that already existed and sort of
but
made
this is a custom product from the guys that do exclusive, right? This isn't like you didn't go to.
I have some stuff in the works that I am very excited for. It's in the prototype phase right now. I can't say much about it, but
dude, like, and I don't think people understand like a lot of this stuff, like the ashtray, the glass, this man card, like when you're doing stuff from scratch and like the thing you're working on, it takes months and months. I mean, we've been working on some of this stuff since like the beginning of the year. Yeah. Because when you got to source materials, you've got to design the thing. Like with the man card, we had to get the artwork done and, work with a graphic artist to get the artwork done and get the sizing and all the things. It's a bit fingerprinted up right now, but I mean, it takes a long time to get all this stuff done, but in any event, I had one sent to Taylor, of course, because he's my boy. And this fucking guy had the nerve to call me and say, "Hey man, I got the man card." I was like, "Sweet." He's like, "I'm going to hold it proudly tonight while I'm drinking my Truly." And I'm like, "You dirty son of a bitch. You give me that back right now. Your man card's revoked." And now it's become a joke. And even on the description on the webpage, I even commented, like, if I catch you drinking Truly with this, you're going to have to give it back. Because it's a man card, man. If you have to turn that shit back in.
Well, I have some suggestions for V2. I mean, I know you haven't quite dropped V1 yet. Like you have to your Patreon people. But
if you say to put a Truly on back in lieu of the whiskey bottle, I'm going to come through this fucking microphone.
No.
I'm not a violent guy, but you're going to make me go violent.
No, just take one of the corners and taper it a little bit. And you just kind of flatten out some of the artwork on the corner, right? So it just kind of fades away a little bit there. And you inscribe "Open Truly" here, and you can slide the corner under the cap or like the tab and try open your Truly. I'm going Charleston Heston on this. Oh, out of my cold dead hands, son. No. Well, one could argue you could also use that same thing to open a beer can. I would argue real men just grip that bitch with their hand and pop it. You don't need nothing. No. You need to put "Open Truly" here.
Taylor, send your card back.
You know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to take an angle grinder to this.
Taylor, if you deface that man card, son,
I'll do it myself. I'll do a video on it. Shave down one of the corners.
Don't do it after you've been drinking, like that time you tried to reprofile a knife after you've
I've done a few things that I regret after drinking. Truly, just on this podcast and doing live streams. It's a really bad time when I'm stuck at the office trying to sober up a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I should definitely sharpen my knife with a belt grinder. Let's do that while I'm tipsy. With my favorite knife.
the initial rip off of a cigar is never the best because it's always a little bitter. It's a little hot. It's a little everything. But man, this Padron, even on the first light up, it's pretty glorious. I'm pretty excited about this.
I'll make some more notes about revisions for number 2. Just stop.
Just stop. But just to finish the plug, if you guys are interested in a slide or a man card, they will be on the site. We're dropping them Friday at noon, correct? Friday at noon. Yeah. So either go to Taylor's website or my website. You'll be able to link directly. Are you sending people from your site to there, or are you going to send them right to exclusive?
Well, you let me in on some knowledge before the podcast, so I was just sending everybody to exclusive.
Yeah, you can go straight to exclusive's website, but because a lot of people already are on my site and they're used to it, you can go to my site and I've got the buy buttons on there and it'll route you to their cart and stuff. So, but we'll put some stuff on Instagram and stuff to let you know when it's dropping. But
so
Friday at noon.
For short, Jeremy told me about something. I can have these on carry commission and drop ship them very easily. Right. So good. Carry commission, carry.best, jeremysiers.com. There's a million different places. Everything for our merch is linked down below though. So
it's true.
Easy peasy.
The Patreons have already started getting some, so those guys are already. I've seen some comments already. Some people ordering them, so hopefully you guys are liking them, and you're going to be stoked about. There was something else.
Dude, they're heavy, dude. They're serious business.
Dude,
somebody asked me, is this something you would EDC? And I'm like, it's 5 ounces of just brass.
I'm sure there will people that will.
Well,
I am sure people will.
But this is almost like carrying a second phone. I weighed my phone today. My phone is 8 ounces.
That's 5.
This is over 5. It's 5.3 ounces.
Well,
so,
to give you a little point of reference, the way we're doing this merch with stuff, right? We made that card like most people make challenge coins and stuff at first, right? And the way most coins are made, they're made of zinc, and then they're coated with a material, whether that be copper plating, brass plating, some other kind of finish that is meant to look like brass or copper. We did that and it looked good and I liked it, but I was like, you know what? This is not going to patina, which isn't going to work. I need this motherfucker to patina. If it doesn't patina, people are going to give me all kinds of shit. This is the man card, and God damn it, the man card needs to patina. So we decided to just go solid brass. Just fucking solid block. That is a solid block of brass, and it's pressed in a big old fucking attack, like minting a coin.
Listen to this. I don't know if I can do it.
Dude, it's serious. It is serious.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It is heavy. I mean, it's just like the ashtray that, we've talked about that we're making. He's machining that out of solid brass. Dude, that thing weighs 5.5 pounds. You could use that as a blunt. If somebody breaks into your house, you could pick up the ashtray and hit them in the head and defend yourself with it.
Shipping on that ashtray is going to be like $20.
Well, dude, that's why I told people we're doing. They're not coming out yet, but we got to do an extremely limited run of them because they're expensive as shit because they're so expensive to manufacture.
But it might be cheaper to just drive to everybody's houses and drop them off in person.
So expensive, dude.
I know because I used to ship those subscription box things, and every month our goal was to try to get the weight down and ship it for as little as possible, because that was where we were losing most of our money was in shipping, because we did free shipping. And dude, there was months that the box was like 5, 6, 7 pounds, and I'm just like, oh boy. Bro, and we roll up, dude. I put 200 boxes in the bed of my truck, and I roll up, and 200 of those boxes, and they're all like 5 pounds. I mean, that's a lot of weight, and I'm just like, dude,
that shit gets expensive quick, dude. I don't know if people really appreciate the price of shipping. And a lot of times we get dinged when you're making something, you get dinged for shipping twice because
to you and to the consumer.
Now, a lot of times we charge the consumer the shipping, obviously, because otherwise our profits would go to zero. But yeah, dude, by the way, speaking of patina. Now, this is the opposite of patina. So, but I had to bring this up because this is something Chad turned me on to, and I think it's worth, because we got a lot of guys that listen to this, I'm sure. So they'll appreciate this. If you ever want to take the patina off of something, or if you have something that you just don't want a patina, maybe you have a brass fixture at your house that you don't want a patina, you want it to look nice or whatever, or copper, or if every now and then you just want to strip the patina off and restart just for shits and grins, whatever. Have you ever heard of this shit right here?
Yeah, the little polishing pads, right? Or cloths.
No, it's actually, well, I think they probably
polish infused cotton.
But yeah, this shit looks like cotton candy.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I've seen there's a lot of different stuff.
It's like cotton candy, and I mean, it like pulls off like little, like you can pull off clumps of it.
Dude, it looks like insulation.
It's what it looks like. That's actually what it looks like. Insulation or cotton candy. Dude, this shit. That is Chad from Big Idea, an exclusive, turned me on to it. He's like, dude, you got to try this stuff. That shit is amazing. It is amazing.
Well, I did a video covering a few different ways that you can remove patina when you did the video on the copper and brass pins.
No, I remember that one.
Design. Yeah, dude, that video bombed. Nobody wants to know how to get rid of patina.
Everybody's trying to force patina.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said the name of this for people that are listening to the podcast, not watching. I forget that sometimes that a lot of people aren't watching this, so we should probably vocalize things. It's called Wizard's Metal Polish.
Did you hear that?
What?
Patina.
What Wizards needs to do is they need to make a reverse of these and make a polishing and then make a patina ink cloth that you could put on there, and it like maybe it has some salt solution or something that will rapidly speed up the patina.
I hope they have a big warning label on that can and that it's like not cotton candy or not edible.
Dude, and it smells good.
That's bad.
It kind of smells a little.
Those polishing cloths that I had at Rick's smelled really good. I can't remember what those are called, like Cape Cod cloths or something like that.
Yeah. I've heard of that stuff.
Yeah. Also, I gotta show you this too. You ready?
Yeah. Shoot.
Patina.
Jesus Christ. Well, you know, what's funny is the Patreons were fucking around with me because I had to make a password to give Patreons early access. And then I password protected the page. And I told them, I'm like, I'll send you guys the password in a little bit. We're just doing some test runs to make sure the shop's working, everything's functioning. So they're on there guessing. They're like, I tried Patina. Patina's not the password. And the guy's like, try Patina. I'm like, you assholes. Obviously, I'm not going to make it Patina because you would all know it. That's the first fucking things you guys would try.
Dude, do you remember when before Casey? No, it was right after Casey Neistat announced Beam. His little, that was the whole reason he started his YouTube channel. It was like, well, not reason, but that's what he was doing for the longest time. He was daily vlogging to grow a following to finally launch.
It was kind of a flop, right? But yeah, I remember
it was a huge flop. But I mean, sort of. I mean, he sold it for $10 million to CNN. So
oh no, he made a ton of money, but
he didn't flop. But CNN flopped with it.
Right?
They might be using the tech. They're probably not. I don't know what they did, but I mean, kudos to him. But
yeah, for sure.
When Beam dropped, it was password only. Like it was invite only. You had to have a password to get in. And I opened up the app, and I'm like, And I tried like one or two things. I don't know what it was, just random stuff. And then I typed in "let me in," all one word, lowercase, and it was like, "You're in." And I was like,
that's awesome.
Oh, okay, cool. And that gave me 10 invites. So I just started inviting people. I was like, that's cool.
That's awesome. That's hilarious, dude. Yeah. I did not make it anything that easy. It's funny they guessed Patina though. I'm like, you guys, come on. Obviously, I'm not going to make a Patina. Everybody that knows me, and if you're in my Patreon, obviously you probably know me. You're going to guess Patina.
Well, looking back, I should have guessed the password.
Yeah, you should have. Do not say that.
I'm not.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, do not say that on a public forum because, well, then that would ruin the whole early access for the Patreons.
How do you like that? I mean, I worked on this for a few minutes last time we did a podcast. Patina.
Dude, that is the creepiest sounding shit ever. It's like the Patina ghost house. Patina. And then there's like you in there. Patina. It's so, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but it's almost eerie. Oh, yeah. And a quick shout out for our boy Pete. I know you guys have talked, you guys have seen me drinking out of Pete's glasses before. I'm not drinking out of his glass tonight. I'm drinking out of one of the ones that little design I got going, but I think he dropped more of those today.
He did.
There may not be any left. His shit usually goes pretty quick, but if you guys, a lot of guys had asked me, they're like, where did you get that awesome pirate glass? And I'm like, well, sorry, they're limited drops. Like you can't, but if it's something
that drop's gone.
Is it gone? Yeah. Well, I thought I would try. Maybe it could get a couple people some glasses, but yeah, I figured maybe it'd already be dry. His drops go fast, man. They go real fast.
Yep. Usually don't last too long.
I have not taken a sip of whiskey yet. This is blasphemy.
Oh, we're half an hour in, man. What are you drinking again? I know you said it, but I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do. Eagle Rare. My bad. Mm-hmm. It was the one you're warming up to that I was not familiar with. We'll get there. It's okay. Oh, you're going to show me anyway. Stag
Junior.
Here
is the full-blown Stag, which is George T. Stag, which is like the big daddy. And then there's Stag Junior, which is like the little daddy.
Jeremy, when you go to the store next, can you look for a bottle of Elmer T. Lee for me?
I'll look, but I'll tell you, I don't have any of that in my area. That shit's pretty hard to find usually.
Yeah, I can't find Blanton's. I can't find anything here. Nothing. Like what you see on this cart is like the best stuff from my liquor store period, other than like $300 bottles.
Well, it's funny. We were talking about this right before the podcast, and I was saying, I think you live in one of the worst whiskey areas ever because you can't even get 1910 or 1920 on a regular basis.
No, I've never seen 1910. I've only seen 1920 once, and I grabbed it. The Statesman is always there, but I mean, it's just everything is hit or miss always.
The whole Whiskey Row series from Old Forester is like Jack Daniels in my area. I can go in any liquor store in a 10-mile radius, and they're going to have all of the Whiskey Row, 1910, 1920, 18, what is it, 97 or 1870? What's the bottled in bond? There's one. I forgot what year the bottled in bond is, but there's 4 in the Whiskey Row series.
There's an
1897. Yeah,
1870.
1870. I always say 1897. I don't know what the fuck I say that. 1870.
Well, there is an 1897, I think, or something like that.
I always forget. The only dates I remember is 1910 and 1920 because those are my 2 favorites. The other 2, I forget the dates all the time because I still really like them. They're still very good bottles, but they're not my favorite. But in any event, I can go in any liquor store and find those. And where you're at, those are like unicorn bottles. Like you rarely ever see them. So, man, you just got a rough area for whiskey.
Yeah, it's all just very common stuff like Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and things like that. Fun fact, I was at the ABC store before I came here, and I was backing up to let somebody buy, just, practicing social distancing, and I just about knocked over a whole little stanchion of Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey.
You should have knocked that shit over. That stuff's garbage.
It's gross, but dude, that would have been a pretty expensive mistake because there were probably 40 bottles.
Dude, that stuff is so bad. They probably would have thanked you and been like, thank you for destroying that horrible shit. It's been sitting in that corner for 2 years and nobody's bought it.
No, I bet they sell a lot of that stuff here. Honestly. I used to love it when I was like, what? When I was 21, dude, I love that shit. But
that's like, Jaeger. There's a time and a place for everything.
Like that because I hate licorice. Did you hear about that guy who died from licorice poisoning?
From licorice poisoning? Like from Jaeger or like legit licorice?
He ate a 2-pound bag of licorice in a day, or maybe it was every day or something like that.
It can kill you?
Licorice is actually toxic. Yes.
Are you shitting me right now?
I'm not
licorice?
I'm going to pull it up. Look, I'll show you. Yes, you can get licorice poisoning.
Isn't it anise? That's what gives licorice that flavor. Isn't it anise? Isn't that what licorice is anise flavoring? Anise, it's the spice anise, or it's like a...
I don't know what you're saying. What are you saying?
Not anise. Anise. It's definitely not flavored like anus, or nobody would eat it. Although some people think licorice tastes like anus.
I hate the taste of it. But yeah, look. Black licorice poisoning kills man in Massachusetts.
That's so fucking weird.
That's the toxin.
What is it? I can't read that far.
Glycerin, I guess is what it's called.
Glycerin? Glycerin.
I don't know exactly how much, but
that's so strange.
He ate enough of it to die. Yeah. 2 ounces of black licorice a day for 2 weeks could land you in the hospital.
Well, let's be real. Almost anything can kill you, right? You can die from drinking too much water, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I guess to that effect, anything, if you go too ham on it, can fuck you up. But I wouldn't think that licorice would be one of those items, and I wouldn't think anybody could stomach eating enough of that shit to get poisoned by it. I don't even really like it. Although I've heard the real deal shit from like, I want to say, is it like this, like the Norwegian, like Finnish area, like they do like a salted licorice that's like a totally different kind of thing than what we get over here, and some people swear by it.
I don't know, but I hate it. I think it tastes gross.
I don't particularly like regular black licorice, but I've heard a lot of people that said that they don't even really like black licorice, the salted stuff that's like I don't know if it's Finnish. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that. I feel like that's the area it comes from though. But it's a salted black licorice, which sounds even worse, right? Like what's worse than licorice salted, but they say it's really good.
I don't know. You guys can keep that and you can keep your Jaeger. It all tastes like ass.
Let's be, it tastes like anus. There's a reason anise and anus are so close together. They taste just like each other. And the cigar is good.
So we still need about 775 more people to be able to have Jeremy smoke that Texas Lancero live.
I'm not gonna rush it because I have no desire to do. Dude, the Bourbon Junkies. Speaking of those guys, I was on there. They had a live stream the other night. They broke 1,000 concurrent for the first time.
Dude, that's sick. That's awesome.
That's awesome, dude. Big congrats to those guys.
Someone earlier tonight asked me why we don't do the live stream on the first Friday so that we wouldn't conflict with Week 1 Wednesday over on Blade HQ, because we all like both of us go live.
We could actually do that. That makes sense.
It's not a horrible idea, but also I don't think we'd really interfere with each other. I mean, I think they're doing fine. We're at our normal number of people, so. But also, they don't go on for 2 hours, so they can probably send people over here afterwards.
It's true. I'm game for whatever, man. I mean,
they've been getting a lot of viewers on their live streams lately too, which is really cool.
Yeah, dude. It's one of those things that I think just consistency, right? You do it long enough, people get used to seeing you at a certain time and a certain day, and then it gets up. The Bourbon Junkies are great guys.
That's precisely why we did it for 5 weeks and took a 2-week break.
Shit's gonna happen, man. The whole thing is, we said this is just for fun. Like, if it grows and becomes a big thing, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, it's just fun for us to get on here, shoot the shit with guys, do a little interacting with the peeps in the comments toward the end of each episode and stuff, and just have fun. It doesn't matter to me either way. Don't get me wrong. I'll be thrilled if it grows. That's great, but it's not a concern of mine, really.
It's also far more fun for me when I'm not, role playing Minecraft or something over here with my crap internet. I've actually been able to maintain a connection tonight, which is really nice.
Dude, it was bad. It was bad. You look like the Lego man.
Dude, you guys have no idea what kind of hell I went through trying to edit that to make it seem like the audio only version, that there were no issues at all. And first time I did it, it took like 7 hours. Which is so long for just an audio podcast with minimal editing.
Well, and then the first time I fucked up and I recorded my audio to where it was doubling.
Yeah, so the first audio podcast we wanted to run, Jeremy recorded, but he didn't mute my track, so all of my audio was coming through Jeremy's, but at a really, really low volume, and that wouldn't seem so bad if we synced up, right? So sync everything up, and theoretically, my audio would match my audio, and you wouldn't hear the lower track. No, that's not what happens, because we are calling in or live streaming, and there's latency. So sometimes mine's a little faster than his, sometimes his is a little faster than mine. And throughout the entire podcast, things kind of shift. So the latency throws everything off. So when we have audio only versions that we record separately, I can line it up and the latency is taken out of it. But it's not if one of the audio files coming through does have a latency. So yeah, it was a nightmare. Disastrous.
You bitched at me. You're like, hey dude, thanks a lot for fucking that up. Cause I've been the edit should take me like 15 minutes and I've been doing this shit for like 3 hours, you asshole.
Yeah. I threatened him and said, if you do it again, I quit.
You're like, I think what you actually said is, you do it again, you can edit this motherfucker.
I think I did. Yeah.
That's funny. That's good stuff, man. That is, dude, this cigar. God damn, this is a good cigar.
Yeah,
I tell you,
I don't think I updated you guys after the camping trip.
Let's hear about the camping. This episode is almost like a Friday.
Yeah, but it's just us catching up because we haven't talked in.
Right, we haven't talked in a couple weeks. There was something you wanted to get into though after your camping. What was the thing? There was something you wanted to. I feel like there was something we wanted. There was something with the Karen culture that we went over last time. You wanted to get into the Joe Rogan thing. But anyway, give us an update on the camping. How'd that go? Did we talk about that?
I don't know. My timeline has completely been. I have no idea what we've said and haven't said, but camping went great. Eleanor was a little difficult. She got bored, and sleeping in the tent with us was very difficult. Like it was tricky. But we had
air mattresses or cots or what?
Well, I have my rooftop tent, and that's got a foam mattress in it.
Okay.
So it's got a little foam mattress, but the mattress that came in it is old and it's not very spongy anymore. So I threw an air mattress on top of that, but not like a 6-inch air mattress. It was really a self-inflating foam mattress. So it's memory foam. It's 4 inches thick. The foam expands and sucks the air in, and then you close it off. and it's even more springy than the
I mean, that sounds
foam.
comfortable.
It's extremely comfortable.
Yeah.
I slept like a baby. Eleanor did once she finally went down. Alex, she's pregnant, so. But I smoked.
She's not
both
sleeping
cigars.
great anyway.
No, I smoked both cigars while
I'm
camping.
so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, by the way. If I didn't say that before, I did, because you let me down the first time around. You were supposed to smoke them when you were on that vacation at the beach, and you didn't. So I'm
we
proud
did
of you
kind
that
of get hit by a hurricane.
That's no excuse, Taylor. It's the best time to smoke a cigar.
Well, regardless, I smoked them both in one night when we were camping, and they both tasted gross. They were both pretty bad, but they were both old.
I need to send you. I'll send you some cigars.
I
actually went cigar shopping today. I don't cigar shop often because I get sent enough cigars that I don't have to often buy cigars. But I did today. I went up to a shop and I spent about $300 or so, and I picked some stuff, and I got some good stuff. I was actually pretty pumped with some of the stuff I got. So I need to go and pick you out some shit and send it to you. I think we need to get you a Davidoff. And the reason I say Davidoff, and the reason I bring this up, is I get this question a lot on videos, Instagram, everywhere, probably on here. Somebody's probably asked tonight, what's a good beginner cigar? I'd like to get into cigars, and what's a good beginner cigar? That's like a question, right? And a lot of people go directly to Connecticut. They tell people, smoke a Connecticut. I agree with that, but I don't agree with that. Connecticut's are good because they're generally speaking, milder and whatnot. But Connecticut's have they can be a little punchy and have some flavors that could be a little off-putting, I think. A lot of times they're creamy and nice and glorious. I see why people say that. But, dude, a Davidoff, they're expensive, which is why I think a lot of people don't recommend them for newbies, because if you spend you're not going to get a Davidoff for much under probably $15 to $18 for a cigar. But, man, they're so smooth and delicious. Like, they're the most non-offensive cigar you could possibly smoke.
Well, the first time I had Romeo y Julieta, that was great. Mm-hmm. It was a great cigar. Mm-hmm. This one I had while camping was gross. And I think it was just probably maybe stale. I mean, I'd had it for a month and a half, I think.
Well, and if they go too dry, if you haven't had them in a humidor and they dry out and all the oils and stuff in the cigars dry out, they can be very bitter and they lose all the good shit, and all that's left is just nasty, acrid, non-good flavors.
And I think that happened to both of them, because I've had both of those cigars before, and they were fine. They were good. Mm-hmm. I loved the first Romeo y Julieta, but the other one that I had was a Monte Cristo, and the first time I had that, it was good. It just kicked my ass because it was, first cigar I'd had in years, and I smoked the whole thing while drunk, and
that'll do it. Yeah, I had a cigar the other night. I'll tell that story when you're done. That actually kicked my ass a little bit, which never happens to me. So I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing there, mister?" Because I mean, you know how many cigars I smoke. I smoke them all the time, and I'm an ex-cigarette smoker, and I dipped for years. Like, I am not a stranger to nicotine. So when one gets me, I'm surprised by it.
I am excited to see how you react to the Lancero. The Texas Lancero.
I was about to say, I'm like, I smoke Lanceros all the time. What are you talking about?
No. The big boy.
It's not going to make me sick other than nauseous, because I'm going to feel like I'm fucking choking down a hog the whole time, because the thing's the side. It's the most phallic cigar ever.
Yeah, it's like you're slobbering on a bratwurst, but for an hour.
Yeah, just for a straight hour, just eternally a fluffer, just fluffing the whole time. You know what a fluffer is, don't you?
I don't, but
a fluffer is the girl offset in a porn that keeps the guy keeps the guy pumped up in between takes. You don't think that guy's keeping that thing that way by himself, do you?
Well, no, but there's medicine for that too.
Yeah,
but I'm just excited for this because of the memes that are going to just exist forever after the fact. I'm so excited for that.
Well, because the meme, your Discord are quite artful and creative at creating the memes.
That's one way to put it. Let's see if I can even find.
So I'm super excited about that. But But no, but back to what we were saying, just because I know we're not reading comments, but I do see them occasionally. I think a Davidoff is a good starter cigar. I did see somebody mention Macanudo. That used to be my wife back when my wife was trying to get me interested, and she smoked cigars with me because she was trying to be cool. Now she's like, go fuck you. Dude, that shit's so funny. That was a good one. So you got something called Pink Whitney, which I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I don't either. I genuinely don't know what Pink Whitney is.
You know what it is, you truly drinking motherfucker.
I don't know what Pink Whitney is. I don't know what it is. It's a picture of me with a logo of me as the Art of Manliness logo on my shirt, holding a Pink Whitney bottle with a little thought bubble that says, Jeremy must never know about this. And then a picture of Jeremy. I don't even know where that picture came from, but that is a picture of the thumbnail of one of my videos I did of a day of tattooing. And I made that face as a joke because I was getting tattooed. I was like, ah, and I took that picture. So yeah, that's that. And you holding a bottle of Pink Whitney. It's true. The only thing that make that worse is if you had a man card in the other hand with the Pink Whitney. That can be arranged.
Then my head would actually be on fire. There would be flames.
It says New Amsterdam. I don't know what it is.
Is that even a real thing, or is that a Photoshop thing that somebody made, like a drink called Pink Whitney? I don't even know if that's a real thing. If it is a real thing, it shouldn't be. Beverages shouldn't be pink unless you're a kid and you're drinking Kool-Aid of some nature. Amsterdam
vodka.
Oh, it's fucking vodka. Figures.
Pink Whitney.
Yeah. I go with the, oh, goddamn. What's the guy? The guy from Parks and Rec.
Pink lemonade flavored vodka.
Oh, Jesus. That's what's wrong with the world today. I guarantee you people that drink that have trigger warning. They need trigger warnings about stuff. What's the guy? The guy from Parks and Rec. I can't believe Ron Swanson. I like his thing. Clear alcohol is for old women on diets. He's like, the guy goes to order some shit. He's like, clear alcohol is for old women on diets. Give him a Lagavulin. It's so great.
Did you ever see my video when I was Swan Ronson?
Dude, no, but I've seen a picture of you with like a mustache, like a brawny thing you look most like the brawny guy on the paper towel I've ever seen of anybody in my life. It's like the perfect picture. You look just like the brownie guy.
How do I do computer audio? I don't mute. I think that's what it is.
Rich white women. That's what he said. Not old white women. Rich white women on a diet. What is this?
There's no audio, but
yeah, it can't be. Oh, dude, that's fucking great. For people that are listening to this, he's playing a clip of him dressed up as Ron Swanson, and it is a very convincing
Ron Ronson. It's Swan Ronson, not Ron Swanson.
Dude,
how could you get those confused?
That is a very, very convincing.
I did this for a YouTube project. I was at the YouTube space in New York. They chose my channel for the Next Up program, and we had to make a video. And this was somebody else's video that they came up with, and they had me play Swan Ronson. Swan Ronson was a character I came up with for my video, but they wanted to use it for theirs too. So.
Dude, you actually you're like stroking the mustache.
Yeah. So I
have to say, man, your mannerisms and like, I can't hear it because there's no audio, but like the mannerisms and your facial features and everything you're doing it's good because Ron Swanson does the hand thing like that a lot in his video. It's great. That's so good, dude. If you guys have not ever watched, and I'm sure most of the people listening to our podcast are probably familiar with Parks and Rec, but if you've never watched Parks and Rec, go watch it. It's on Netflix. You can binge watch. Ron Swanson is one of the best characters ever created in a show. It's fantastic. He has some of the best one-liners of anything.
Yeah, this was on my friend's YouTube channel, Wake Up to Ryan. That video only ever got 21,000 views. I was so proud of it. It was one of the best things I've ever made.
I couldn't even hear it. And just from the look of it, it should have gotten more than 21,000 views. It looks fantastic.
I think if I don't hit the mute button, let's see if we can get a little audio. I'm not going to play the video all the way through, but don't talk for a sec.
I was going to say you'll get us demonetized.
It's time to wake up. Oh, sorry, Donald. Oh, you can't see it.
To take
Sorry.
over the presidency.
Yeah.
He does.
Here to make America actually great again. And here are 5 reasons why I fit the bill. Number 1, I'm incredibly manly. I love building shit with my bare hands. Everybody should be building shit with their bare hands.
Dude, that's actually, you've got it down pretty damn good, man. I have to give it to you because that does the mannerisms, the cadence of his voice. You've got it pretty good. It's solid. I like it.
It was a very fun video to make, but it took so long. We only really had like 3 or 4 hours to make that video, and we took like 8. It took so long.
It would have taken me 3 days.
Yeah. Well, we had to shoot 4 videos in one day, and we were at the YouTube space after they were supposed to kick us out, trying to finish this up. So it was a long day, but it was such a fun video to make. But this was actually made before the election, I think.
Before which election? Trump?
Yeah.
The first Trump election?
2016. Yeah, this is back in 2016 when we weren't sure if he was actually going to be the president, I think. And then it all just kind of came together. But yeah, I'm still a big fan of that video.
I like it, dude. I'm going to watch it in full. Can I just say real quick, any of you guys are cigar guys, if you have not had a Family Reserve 1964 Padron, you should really give it a whirl. It's an expensive cigar, so definitely do it on a special occasion if you're having whatever. You're celebrating a little something or to treat yourself, because they're not cheap, but man, it's a fine cigar. What you got there? Little Freud. I need to finish up this Eagle Rare. I'm slacking.
Little Lafroig with my my 1x1 plot of land in Scotland.
You know, Lafroig is a pretty damn popular Scotch, and I have had it, but it's so long since I've even had it. I don't even remember if I like it or what it tastes like. I haven't had it.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a very long time, and it was my alternative for Lagavulin because it's, it used to be half the price. Now it's, not quite half. It's 67 instead of 100.
It's an Isla?
It is, yeah. There we go.
Those new bottles got good pops, man. Good pops.
Oh, now I remember why this was my alternative. But yeah, it's an Isla. 10 year. It's a little more harsh.
It's funny. I thought usually with Scotch, you do translate young to harsh, right? That's why you're more expensive Scotches, your older Scotches and whatnot. But dude, that Wee Beastie is the youngest of the Ardbeg, and I don't think that shit is harsh at all. Matter of fact, that's one of the samples I'm going to send you because I know you haven't been able to get it. That shit is delicious. Matter of fact, if I can go get a bottle, I'll just send you a whole fucking bottle of that stuff.
I won't complain about that.
It's just good. Uh-oh. He froze.
Oh no.
Oh no. I can hear you, but you're it looks like you're sniffing the cup. You're still sniffing. What'd your upload speed go to? Oh no. Oh no. You jinxed it. We said it was going to happen.
I'm sort of back, I think. No, I'm not.
What's your speed right now?
I don't even want to know. Mid-drink, I was sniffing. I wasn't drinking. My speed's probably atrocious right now.
Yeah, you're straight go, man.
I've not had an issue. Yeah. Oh, dude, my download speed is bad.
Oh, see, dude, and I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. That's so funny. That is so funny, dude. That it hasn't happened to you in like 2 weeks. We've been doing all this stuff, giving it time, trying to get it resolved, and then it hasn't happened in 2 weeks. And the first night we're like, "Fuck it, we're just do it," and then it happens again. It wants there to be technical issues in the podcast. It wants it. Your internet
really does.
Wants.
It really does. Hit your marker, by the way.
Yeah, dude, you're straight. Actually, you're worse than Lego. At least Legos have like round, smooth heads because the headpiece is all one thing.
Wow.
You're just like a blurry, blobby, frozen, glitchy. Even your voice sounds like Megatron. Or maybe Starscream. little shout out. Anybody knows who Megatron or Starscream is? If you don't know who Megatron or Starscream are, you can go fuck yourself. I think he switched. He's hot spotting it. Hot spotting.
I think we're back.
We're back, or you're hot spotted?
I'm hot spotting.
Dude, your fucking internet is the plague, bro. It's the plague.
Dude, they won't fix it. They're like,
the
we don't see an issue. And I'm like, it clearly is happening over and over.
We have got, let me see how many people are in stream currently. Hold on.
229.
We have got 229 witnesses that they are full of shit and there is an issue.
Clearly
there is an issue, but we're hot spotting now. That was a minor interruption.
Do you know how I know? Do you know how I know that I'm sitting closer to the mic than normal? That shit keeps grabbing my beard and yanking it.
Here's the deal with that, right? These mics have a built-in pop filter, right? Isn't that one of the features of this mic? Doesn't it have like a little built-in pop filter in there, if I'm not mistaken?
Mm-hmm.
But they also make the foam you can buy. They don't come with it because they make an extra that kind of double up the pop filterness. I thought about getting one just so it would stop snagging my fucking mustache, because it's brutal when your mustache gets snagged by this thing. However, then you've got this big foam thing in your face that is very phallic and it makes me uncomfortable.
You are too scared of phallic shapes.
I am scared of phallic shapes being close to my face. Okay, I shouldn't say I'm afraid. I'm not afraid of it. It just weirds me out. I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want anything that close to my. That's why I'm extremely nervous about the Texas Lancero.
And I'm really vying for us to hit 1,000 concurrents, so that will happen.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Damn, now I just snagged my flavor saver, man. Jesus.
I wonder if, and I don't think it is, but I mean, maybe Spectrum is actually throttling me because I'm streaming.
Could be, because you don't have that problem any other time, and then the amount of data you're pumping through, they throttling you down. Little throttle.
Maybe I mean, I've had it happen when we're not live streaming, but I don't know. I've never had this issue before where it's non-existent 90% of the time, and then all of a sudden, boom, no upload speed. So I'll call them again, try to get it fixed. But I mean, I'm kind of limited in what I can do. The only thing I could possibly do, I think, is buy my own modem and my own router and get rid of their junk.
I would try that, man. I know I had problems like that, and I went to a mesh. You don't need a mesh system because you don't have a big enough area. But when I went to a mesh system, I enjoy it. We get full coverage on our entire house now. We used to have weird dead spots. Not to mention just the speed's better because the modems that they give you are just hunks of shit.
Yes, they are. They're so bad. Little update. Speaking of space and where, like, my office and whatnot, I will have a new office fairly soon. I was hoping it would happen sooner than it's going to, but it is going to be I think about 90 days before I get into the new space. But
now,
once
90 days before you're in the new space, when you get into the new space, is it going to be ready to rip, or is it going to be 90 days before you can get in there, and then probably 30 days of you like getting it ready for you to actually be able to do production in there?
I think 90 days before they finish getting it fixed. Like, it's right now, it's just open warehouse space, and we're framing in my area, and they just have so much work before they can get to that I think it's going to be 90 days before I can move in, and then I've got to get it set up. Yeah. And I've got a 30-day window to move from this space to that one. It's the same building, but I've got to have to haul everything outside, down, around, and back in.
Dude, hire movers, bro.
Well, moving out of here is the worst part. Moving into the next space is going to be great because I can just drive into it.
Hire movers, bro. Do you have like 3 men in a truck?
2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck, whatever the hell it is. Dude, one day, a few $100, like just to have the help to lift that heavy stuff and get it across there, you could probably get it done in half the time and not blow your back out.
Dude, I will 100% blow my back out if I try to move.
Yeah, because you got to go down steps and shit, man. Like big stuff. It's just moving big items down steps by yourself is a bitch.
The toolbox, I can't point. I'm mirroring the toolbox right there. Is probably like
We got to do some. What was that one? It was like Inception
Handling
because
it.
like I was going like this, and then you like people were like, it was,
Are you guys in the same room?
that was they're like it broke the third wall, like it fucked me up. I thought they were in different areas.
Well, that toolbox over there is like probably 300 pounds.
Yeah, dude,
So,
you're not moving that by yourself. Like, good luck with that.
yeah, I had to get help getting it up here, and we were both struggling. So
Hire help, bro. Seriously, just 2 men in a truck. You don't even need the fucking truck. Just the two guys just to help you haul shit. You could probably knock it out in a day and not blow out your gooch trying to get it done.
well, I do have a lot of shit in here too. Like a lot of shit. That closet has 3 racks in it, 4 racks, and they're all full of shit. So I got a lot of shit to move. And the next space I'm going to this. It's going to be bright. I might have 1 or 2 dark walls, but I want natural light. I've got light. I'm going to have a window, putting in a window. I'm going to have natural light coming in, and I want it to be nice and bright and much more photogenic than this place.
See, I totally disagree with you on the bright. I'm in the process of making everything dark. Like, I like natural light. I've got big windows, but I don't like shooting with natural light and bright spaces because then you get too many reflections off stuff and you can't control the light the way you want to control it because you're getting bounces off all the surfaces.
I want the best of both worlds. That's why I said I might have 1 or 2 dark walls.
Yeah.
So I can have kind of both.
I'm about to redo my other room and paint it the same color as this room and paint the ceiling and everything like I have in this room because it's so much easier for me to shoot photos and video and stuff in here because the light control. You do need the natural light's important. The fact that you have no natural light in that spot, that's hard to deal with.
It sucks.
Natural light is
genuinely sucks. But it will be a nearly 2,000 square foot office, and there's going to be a wall down the middle dividing. Half of it's going to be like a shop where I'm going to work on my trailer and my truck and just work on things, and the other half is going to be studio like this. The downside and what I'm going to have to figure out is that it's all cement floors. 14 foot ceiling.
It's going to be fun for sound.
Yeah, it's 14-foot ceilings. Those aren't rafters. They're just metal ceilings with I-beams.
That's going to be fun for sound.
Yeah. So
you're going to for sure have to put up some acoustic panels.
Yeah.
You can build them with some rock wool. It's pretty. I've actually got all the stuff. I bought all the stuff. I'm going to put some in this room because I get echoes in here that drive me crazy when I'm not using this mic.
Yeah.
Time to bust out.
Stag Junior.
Time to dude, this stuff right here. This stuff, I think the way the guys at Whiskey Vault described this is this stuff was made to try to tear your beanbag off. I think that was his description for Stag Junior. Because it's this is batch. I don't know what batch it is actually, because the way they do their batches, they don't have a batch number. It's each proof. You have to look up the proof and it'll tell you what batch it is because each batch, the proof is a tad different. This is 131.9 proof, which is, I think, batch 9.
131.9. That's such an odd proof.
Well, yeah, because it's barrel proof, right? So it's whatever it comes out the barrel at. They don't proof it, right? So whatever naturally occurred, whatever the proof is when they take it out of the barrel is what it is. Which is like any barrel proof stuff. If you look at any of the barrel proof stuff, it's always going to have a weird like off number because it's just whatever it comes out the barrel at. I don't remember what 131.9. I don't know what batch this is. Batch 9. Yeah, Davis Wallace said batch 9. It's
wait, isn't that David?
Is it David or Davis? No, it's Davis. I always fuck up. There's a date. Well, there's a Davis Wallace and then there's a David something, right? Is there a David Wallace or a Wallace David? I don't know. There's 2 guys that have very close names and I always fucking destroyed it. I always mix them up.
Anyway, the new space, I'm so excited for it. I'm going to have somewhere that I can actually start working on things, building things. I'm going to have a shop, like a legit shop. And I'm so pumped.
Because you want to do some like stuff working on trailers and doing different like shop project type videos, right? So you're not just sit behind a desk doing stuff.
I want to make EDC gear. just do a video. If I want to make something, just fucking do it. You know, like that, and then rebuild my trailer and stuff. And I don't know, yeah, I'm so excited to be able to just do everything like that in one space and have a space to do it and not have to drive all the way out to Rick's, which is like 30 minutes away. So, I mean, Rick's isn't that bad. I like going out there. I love hanging out with Rick, but at the same time, whenever I go out there, I'm pulling him away from whatever it was he was doing and keeping him from making money. So having my own space is just the natural progression. But
I am listening to you, Taylor. I'm just having a bit of a nosegasm while I'm listening.
Yeah, I noticed. But the new space will be bigger than this one. So this is about 600 square feet. The studio for the next one will be a little over 900 square feet. And then the shop will be the same size. So, and they'll be side by side.
What is that? Ooh,
yes.
That smell. Can't you smell that smell? What is that? That's Jethro Tull, right? Aqualung. Isn't that Jethro Tull? Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell? No. Is that too old for you, Taylor?
It's the Rock.
Is it because I'm a boomer that I know that?
It's the Rock.
It's no. Can you smell what the Rock is?
Smell the Rock?
No. Ooh, that smell. I think that's Jethro.
Yeah, that's too old for me.
I think that's who that is.
That's too old for me.
Oh God, dude. This stuff. I tell you what, you got to be careful though, because the proof on this stuff, if you get it too far, well, if you don't need to trim your nose hairs, you can just get in there and sniff, and all your nose hairs are like burnt out.
So this Lafroig is definitely more. It's got more bite to it than say a Lagavulin, and I would say it's definitely more medicinal tasting. And I don't know if it's more campfire or smoke. I think it's got more smoke to it, like more peat, but like just different. It hits different.
Is it more like because it's been a long time. God, by the way, fucking Stag Junior, man, I got to send you a sample of that too. There's a bunch of shit I got to send you samples of. God damn, that stuff's good. The mouthfeel of that stuff, and I know I hate that term mouthfeel because it sounds weird, but it's a totally different texture than other stuff. All the barrel proof, well, not all, but a lot of barrel proof stuff is. Somebody's saying Skinnerd. Maybe it was Skinnerd. Anyway, is it more medicinal like Lagavulin, or is it more smoky like Ardbeg?
I would say it's definitely more like Lagavulin than Ardbeg, but definitely more medicinal than Lagavulin.
So even more medicinal. So maybe that's why I haven't had it in a long time, because I don't particularly love overly medicinal tasting scotches. Like the medicinal note, I don't mind if it's an accent, but I don't like scotches that are like super, super medicinal. You know what I mean? Like Lagavulin's about as medicinal as I like in a scotch, which is why I tend to like Ardbeg more than Lagavulin, because I don't think Ardbeg is as medicinal. It's more smoky and sweet to me.
I know. I wish I had some here, but I don't. The only other scotch I have is the old Port Charlotte.
I'm telling you, man, I'm going to try to get you a bottle of Wee Beastie. If I can't get you a bottle of Wee Beastie, I'll definitely send you a sample. It's one of my favorite ones lately. And also I got to send you a sample of that barrel proof Isla Scotch from Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. I got a video coming with them. We actually just got done figuring all that stuff out. This month, I'll be doing a whole video on Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, what their deal is and all that stuff. It's a cool thing, man. It's a cool little organization they got going there. Get some bottles that you just can't get anywhere else, because they're barrels that they go and hand pick from all these distilleries, and you don't usually get single barrel offerings from a lot of those Scotch places. They're usually blends, so it's pretty cool.
I need to look into it myself.
Dude, you for sure do, because you're a Scotch guy more than a bourbon guy by just default. And some of my favorite scotches I've had so far, the two they've sent me, like blew the doors off. They were both excellent scotches.
Yeah, somebody asked me in my Q&A. I didn't answer it on the video, but somebody asked me Scotch or bourbon, and I'm just like, I gotta go Scotch every time, all the time. Like, I like bourbon, but I love Scotch. It's just my happy place.
If you would ask me 3 years ago, it would have been an easy answer for me, bourbon. I still lean bourbon because that's my roots, right? Coming from Kentucky originally and stuff. And that's just when my whiskey journey started with bourbon. So those are kind of my comfort flavors that I'm used to. And 3 or 4 years ago, because I'd only had a few scotches and I wasn't thrilled with them, I would have been like, I don't even like scotch. Like bourbon's my jam. But now that I've kind of explored scotch more and I've really found a bunch of scotches that I really enjoy a lot, it's a harder decision for me when people say bourbon or scotch. It's a much harder decision these days than it used to be. I'd still lean bourbon though.
I'm Scotch all day, every day, forever. Like it's just my thing.
All day, every day.
But I have to say, if I had to choose for a budget Isla, if we're gonna call $67 a budget Isla,
I don't know that there are budget Islas.
Well, like, I mean, your budget Isla starts at like $50. Like that's the budget Isla.
No, actually, I take that back. Wee Beastie would be a budget Isla. You haven't had it yet, but I think that I want to say the retail on that is like $45-$50.
Well, that's what Ardbeg is in general. Like it's just like the 10. The Ardbeg 10 is normally $45-$50,
but you like that better than Ardbeg?
No, that's what I was getting at. Is I would recommend Ardbeg over Lafroig. I mean, I think the Lafroig is just a little more like after having tried all these different things and having a little more of an acute taste and being able to pick things out.
See, you're getting there, right? I told you, the more you do it and the more you try and you like consciously think about it.
To a degree. But there are cheaper Islas, but not cheaper Islas that I would recommend. I have an Isla at home that I picked up because I saw Isla and I'm like, I think it's not Highland Park. It's
the Highland Park's usually pretty good.
No, it's not Highland Park. I
don't think Highland Park's the Isla either.
I think it's just Highland. It's not Highland Park. I know it's not Highland Park. I think it's just Highland or something like that. But it's $30. It's not my jam at all.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a breaking point where it's like,
on Scotch, it's about $45-$50. That's where
if it's in a plastic bottle, probably.
I don't think I've seen a Scotch in a plastic bottle.
No, I don't think they sell Scotch. They do sell bourbon in plastic bottles. I don't think they sell Scotch in plastic bottles.
Yeah, but this is it's good. But I think with it going up to $67, I think I'll stick with Ardbeg from now on. I just think that's the logical progression of Scotch now. There's another. It's not Isla, but it's if you do like peaty Scotch is one that I have tried, and I think I've mentioned this to you before. Is I think it's Auchentoshan.
You have mentioned that because that's a name that every time I hear it, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not one that I've had.
Auchentoshan.
That sounds German.
It does. Lowland single malt with a fine sense of identity and range of whiskey.
How did I let this go out? What did I do?
It says it's not a Scotch, but it's. Is it? Distillery is a single malt whiskey distillery in the west of Scotland. It is a Scotch, but they have an American oak whiskey. I don't know much about Auchentoshan, but the one I had was good. But it is about $80 a bottle, I think.
Sorry. I usually don't like to leave dead silence, but
you've been having lots of mouthgasms and nosegasms.
Oh God. And you're gonna have to edit out a lot of me smacking.
Yeah.
Fuck it, man. Leave it in. It's part of the experience. You know, I'm over here smacking and I'm enjoying it. It's part of the whole experience. Don't edit that shit out. It's in there. Let it go. I got one mustache hair that is.
Oh, it was definitely in the last one. That's for sure.
Well, does anybody else do that when they're? Well, I know. Are we in the comment area, by the way, yet?
I mean, we can be. I mean, we've had not really much of an agenda tonight. I was going to talk about the Joe Rogan thing, but
oh yeah, do you want to go into that, or do you want to save that?
We can. It's not much. I was just going to kind of put a nail on what we talked about in the last podcast, which was the Karen Culture podcast. Literally the day that we recorded that podcast, Joe Rogan was, I guess, in the news for, it wasn't the day that his podcast went live on Spotify. It was a few days before that, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of September. I think is when he switched over. Regardless, there was this big news story about like what was happening with his podcast when he was switching over from everything over to Spotify exclusively, and how some aren't showing up, like specifically the Alex Jones episode. And there were different episodes that were on like touchy topics that were not on the platform. And it just ended up being a bit of a fluke at first, right? Because some of them over time started showing up. I mean, you're moving over 1,500 plus files that are hundreds of megabytes each. I mean, it's going to take some time. That's understandable. But the controversy was one that people thought Spotify was censoring Joe Rogan and deleting some episodes from his category, or his catalog rather. And there's still a little bit of gray area on that, because there are some episodes that are not available still. And that's not a transfer issue. That is,
at this point, it's hard to keep saying it's a transfer issue because it's been long enough that they should have been able to get those files over by now. Come on, let's be
right. Yeah, they definitely should have. But the other part of the story was people getting really mad that Joe Rogan was on Spotify because of things he's talked about and things he's joked about. He's a comedian. He is a comedian, and he made a joke. The joke that really came into question. Philip DeFranco talked about this. The joke that came into question was a joke about transgenders, and he made a joke about the Kardashians.
Yeah, I remember about
Jenner. I can't even remember.
It used to be Jenner. Now it's I don't know. The guy.
I can't even remember their names because I try not to let them, take up
any of my brain space whatsoever.
Yeah. The joke that Joe Rogan made was that it had something to do with having to live with the Kardashians would do that to anybody or something like that. It was a joke.
It was a funny joke. He's like, he did it in his stand-up. He's like,
Jenner. There we go.
Caitlyn. He's like, anybody that lives with crazy chicks like that, it's going to basically mess their brain up, right? It was a joke, right? Like,
and people lost their minds saying that he shouldn't be allowed on Spotify. And the thing is, like, just because somebody says something you don't agree with or you don't like or it offends you does not mean they should not exist on a platform. Get the fuck over yourself.
Yes.
Like, you cannot cancel everybody who does not agree with you or is not of the same belief as you. Like, it's just so, like, the same people who are upset over a person like Joe Rogan being on Spotify is the same kind of person who's like, we need equality for all. Like, you can't have it fucking both ways. Just fucking.
Well, and here's the major problem. Here's the big thing that a lot of people don't understand, right? I don't get big into politics on social platforms because I like to keep things light and fun, and I like my social presence to be fun, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to get into these political debates that are going to get people pissed off and fighting and all this stuff, right? So I don't get into that kind of stuff. But this is the one thing I will say, because I don't think this is divisive. I'm sure some people are going to think this is divisive, but anybody who thinks this is divisive is just a dumb fuck. Freedom of speech does not only count when people are saying something that you agree with. Freedom of speech is more important when somebody is saying something you don't like or agree with, right? So you got a lot of these people that, like, they're all about like their rights and freedom of speech and equality and all this stuff, but only when it supports their agenda. When
I think the argument that people were making against Joe Rogan was that it was technically hate speech because it was discrimination of sexual orientation. And I'm just like, no, it's a joke. He's a comedian.
Right.
Like, everybody seems to forget that Joe Rogan originally was a comedian.
Right.
I don't know why people forget that, but Joe Rogan, first and foremost,
is a comedian.
I mean, now he's really more of a podcast host and a host on UFC and whatnot. But I mean, originally a comedian. So he's always going to have roots in that. He's always going to tell jokes, and not of all of his jokes are, PG. Some of them are pretty racy. Some of them are maybe in poor taste, but that doesn't fucking matter. You have to take context into consideration. And as soon as you start saying you're crying foul because somebody disagrees with you, like if you get treated the exact same way, you're going to start bitching. Just fucking grow up. And if you don't like it, don't look at it. Don't listen to it. Move on.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? Is it does not give anybody the right to cancel somebody or say that they should be removed or censored because they're saying stuff that you think is in poor taste or that is offensive or any of that. I don't care what they're saying. That should be controlled by, if they're saying stuff that's truly offensive and it's horrible, nobody's going to listen to them. They won't get the views in society, and it'll turn on.
I mean, we have Alex Jones to prove you wrong. So,
but here's the thing. But he's a crazy motherfucker, right? But if people want to watch that, then it's their right to do that. Like,
well, the problem with Alex Jones was that he was basically weaponizing his audience.
Well,
telling them to go do things in the real world. And
when you start getting into like doxing and doing weird shit like that, that's a little bit of a different thing. That's like some Charles Manson trying to like, I'm just talking about general like voicing your opinion, saying things. Just because you offend somebody doesn't mean you should be canceled. It doesn't mean they should remove you or censor you. If you don't like it, you know what the great thing is? You can just go and turn the channel. There's
a mute button. There's a power button. Everything now, unless you're for some reason watching TV, broadcast television, for whatever fucking reason, everything is on demand.
Right.
It's on demand.
Right.
So if you don't demand it, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So the only way you're finding it is if you click on it. And if you click on it and you have a problem with it and you don't click away, that's your own fucking problem. Not
exactly.
Spotify, not YouTube's. Like
that part does drive me crazy. The way culture has gotten just completely, that part drives me nuts. So like I said, I don't like to get huge into political stuff, but that part, and we went into it in the last podcast, so we don't need to, elaborate too much, but everybody just needs to calm down and realize that everybody has different opinions. Everybody has different values. Everybody has different likes. Everybody has different taste. Some people think that, this is crude or crass or is not funny and shouldn't be joked about. Somebody else thinks it should. You're allowed to have differing opinions and disagree. That doesn't mean anybody's right, wrong, or should be canceled or boycotted, or it's just like, calm the fuck down. Like, calm down. Everybody is so goddamn sensitive. It's ridiculous. It's bad. Uh-oh. We lost Taylor again. Taylor's internet is, we saw his internet there for a second. I was like, man, you better be glad we didn't see your internet history. All that midget porn would have came up. That was probably offensive. I don't think you're allowed to say midget anymore. You have to say little people. You're not allowed to say midget. You're all blocky, bro. Did you went back? Did you go to your hotspot or are you on your internet?
I'm on my regular internet because the hotspot died. I'm SOL. Yeah, I'm SOL.
Your hotspot died?
It just disconnected. Hang on.
I'm like, how does a hotspot die? I thought that was the whole point of a hotspot. It was mobile everywhere. Move around. Jump around. Jeez. Davis Wallace said, you're back.
I'm so over this.
Dude, you've got to get your internet folks out there and say, look, you sons of bitches.
Just fix this shit, please.
You're killing our podcast. You're destroying our live streams, you sons of bitches. God, boycott. That's it. I'm outrage culture. I've been triggered. Everybody.
Dude, I raged on the Spectrum lady one day, and I'm like, I know it's not your problem, but also you're not helping me, and that's your job. So you're not doing your job. Have a nice fucking day. And I hung up on her.
Right.
She was like, we can't send anybody out to help you right now. I'm like, that's literally why I'm calling you. Like, I'm paying for a service that I'm not getting fully. Like,
be like, then you are useless as tits on a boar, and we have no use for you. Bye-bye. So yeah, we'll jump into some questions for a little bit if you're cool with that. And if anybody's got
if I drop out, I'm just out.
If anybody's got any questions, comments, concerns, we're about an hour 28, which we said we were going to try to keep it under 2 hours tonight. So, and plus with your internet being on the fritz, we could go at any given time.
So here's a fun little thing. If my internet were to die and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going home, and I walked out, you can't end the broadcast. So if I just left, this broadcast would go on forever.
Well, no, because if I close my window, it would then close.
Will it in?
Yeah, I'm assuming it would. Dude, my contacts are acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs tonight. Do you ever wear? Speaking of off topic, do you ever wear glass? Do you wear glasses, or do you have good vision?
2015 vision, my guy.
Oh, look, big idea design in the house. We can read comments now.
Hey, yeah. What's
big
up,
eye
Chad?
in the house.
That's 100% Chadwick.
Joe
does not exist on YouTube. He does not use YouTube.
Dude, can we talk about Chad and the fact that he is, and I hope you're still in here, Chad. You just commented, so hopefully you are.
He's a bad motherfucker.
How completely full of shit he is.
Oh,
he acts like he can't take good pictures, right? He just sent me
full of shit.
Dude, exactly. He's always like, oh, he's Mr. Modest, dude. That guy, he takes amazing photos, right? He sent me a bunch of.
Did you ever see the photo he took of Peter's coins, the first version of the coins?
Dude, not to mention the time it took him to stack all those fucking coins. Yeah. Like, I was like, dude, the patience. Like, I couldn't have done that.
I don't have that patience. I do not have the willpower. You know what I would have done? I would have taken 3 photos. I would have been like, these all suck.
Uh-oh. Taylor's going down again. He's going down. But anyway, I'll fill the gap while Taylor's frozen. Chad takes amazing photos. Amazing photos. And he's always talking about how his photos are so-so and all this. They're not so-so. They're amazing. I regularly, when he sends me photographs, confuse them for Peter McKinnon's photographs because they're that level of good. So I mean, if your photos can be confused with Peter McKinnon, you're taking some good photos because Peter is a beast. So Chad, public forum, you're full of shit, buddy. Your photos are excellent. Own it, son. Own it. Let's see. We have any comments? Taylor freezing, starting to add live stream. Yeah, Taylor's froze up again. If you guys have any comments while we're trying to fix Taylor's constant problem, he's completely gone. It's just me. You guys are stuck with just me. We'll see if he pops back in here. What's going on with your Zippo? The Zippo that we're making, or the Zippo that I was using tonight? We are making a Zippo. They are in production right now. I was telling you guys earlier about the whole thing that me and Taylor are working with exclusive and doing all custom. We are going to have a few completely custom items, things that are a little bit easier to keep in stock that aren't going to be limited drops, because we are aware that these limited drops are awesome and everybody loves them. It's cool because it's limited run stuff. And if you get it, it's like a special thing, but it's also frustrating sometimes because it's hard to get. So we do want to have some less, they're still custom, but they're less, from the ground up custom. So you guys will have regular stuff that you can get all the time. That'll just be available. And the Zippo is one of them. This is one of the ones. Leaf and barrel Zippo. Got a little leaf and barrel. This is a new leaf and barrel. This damn camera, hold on. Leaf and barrel design there. You can see that. It's trying to focus on my face. There it is. So they are brass, because, well, me and Patina. But yeah, that'll be coming out probably end of the month, beginning of next month, sometime like that. Let's see. Finally shows up. Man, what's bad is I've got to try to read these comments. My contacts are acting up, so I can't see shit. How much of a man card? Man cards are $75. $75. Hey, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. What is up, Taylor? $75 for the man cards.
Do you see the disdain in my face right now?
I do. I also see you in perfect clarity, though. So that's really nice. I was just answering some questions.
I'm so over this. Glad we're on the comment section by now.
Is it butane? It's both. The Zippo is going to actually come from Zippo. It'll come with the normal Zippo insert because that comes with all their lighters. And then we did the bundle where they're going to package it with the dual. Let me see if I can get this thing to focus again. With the dual jet butane for you cigar guys, because I know a lot of cigar guys are against lighting cigars with. So you'll get actually both inserts in the pack. It's like a double pack. It'll have the shell or the case. It'll have the normal insert and a double. And the insert is from Zippo. It's the Zippo butane. So it's I think got a 3-year warranty. So in case it starts fucking up.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah, man.
This is embarrassing for me. It's a very, very embarrassing story for me, but I'm going to tell it anyway. 2 stories actually. So this is not a Zippo insert. This is a Sparker arc lighter. So it's
got the little like it's like
plasma
it's powered by like a battery, right? It's like a plasma type thing.
Yeah. So there's this beautiful photo. Okay. I shared it to my Instagram now. It was taken by a guy on Instagram who goes by Everlasting Ember. I mean, it was such a good photo. I got a screen share again because I lost everything because my internet is trash. This photo right here, so good, right?
Is that hot or is that painted?
I think it was done in Photoshop.
Could have been done in Photoshop.
I think it was done in Photoshop. I just, bright idea, wanted to heat up the blade in mine. Just wanted to see what it would do. Would it turn red hot pretty easily? What would happen? So I grabbed my TPT, didn't even think about what insert I had in here, and just touched it to it and shocked the ever living shit out of myself because it's plasma, it's electric. What a fucking idiot! Good. I did that at like 2 a.m. Right? Just wasn't thinking. Great. I'm just tired. I shouldn't have been doing anything related to knives or lighters at 2 a.m. But I did, and I shocked the shit out of myself. That one was a really stupid mistake. I don't know why I did it. But the next day I was in here and I was trying to light some incense. I have a little incense holder on my barrel back there. And I was trying to light it. No. I was actually burning some loose threads off a wallet. There was some threads that were I was going to sell a wallet and some threads just needed to be burned a little bit. So burned them. And then I was working with it in my hand and I palmed the lighter and I gripped it funny. And activated that, and I had the probes touched to my thumb. I shocked the shit out of my thumb, my hand, dude. My hand.
So basically, you don't need one of those lighters because you're gonna like fucking stop your heart one day,
dude. I have a heart issue too. Like that's no joke. My hand was numb for about 10 minutes. Like
that's hilarious.
Tingly for about 10 minutes. Yeah, it. Don't do that. I had burn marks on my thumb from the probes. And I have a heart issue. It was actually rectified when I was a kid. I had heart surgery when I was 14.
Oh wow. Jesus, that's aggressive.
I had a birth defect where I had basically in layman's I had a third wiring harness for my heart. So every beat of your heart, you have 2 beats, right? I had 3. So my resting heart rate was already like over 100 just because I was did it. I had a weird rhythm. And at random, just sitting at my desk at school in high school, I would just pass out because my heart would just be like, "Oh, it's time to start beating over 300 beats per minute." Got it, and it was just boom, 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 boom. You could see it beating through my shirt, and I would just pass out.
Dude. That sounds disturbing and scary.
Yeah. So they went in and burned a part of my heart to get rid of that, and I've been semi-normal ever since. Well, Harley Davidson heart.
I don't think I would quite say you're normal.
Yeah. I said semi.
Well, see what else we got in here?
The trouble is, like, if I shock myself, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
It's true. Jeremy, where can I get one of those badass shirts? On my website, jeremysiers.com, under merch. This is the limited. This is the way. These are only available this month because Taylor, did you watch Mandalorian season 1?
Is that Pokemon?
Get the fuck out of here. See, give me my man card back. You truly drinking, non-Star Wars loving motherfucker. Give me my man card back.
Can't take it back. I already have one.
No, it's great. You should watch it. It's a really awesome show. But anyway, one of my favorite shows, This Is the Way, is like a theme or a mantra of the Mandalorians. And I did my own take of it and put a whiskey bottle and a cigar in here. And this is a black on black stealth version, as a special release just this month because season 2 is being released at the end of this month. So you can get this shirt on the website anytime, but the black on black is only until the end of the month.
Wolf Parkinson White is exactly what the heart issue was. Yes, I had
that.
Wow.
And somebody actually knew about that. I had no fucking clue. I'm like,
Yep. I had a heart ablation and I haven't had an issue since, and that's been 16 years. So it used to happen to me like weekly. So yeah, it's good. No, there's a running joke. I made a joke in a video I made about somebody mentioned something. I don't know what it was at this point. It's Gengar, I think is what it was. And I was like, that's probably some Star Wars shit. I knew it was, I didn't know what Gengar was because I just don't know. And it's a Pokemon thing. And I just said it's some Star Wars shit just to rile people up. And ever since, everybody has been losing their minds anytime I say something like that. Like anytime somebody says something Star Wars, I'm like, that must be something Pokemon. I don't know anything about Pokemon. And anytime somebody says something about Pokemon, I flip it over.
Sean Dooley agrees. He says I should take your card.
Try, bitch. It's right here.
Taylor gets a little bit more of a pass than most because he's my boy. But I will say some of the shit that he said has hurt my soul tonight.
I am for sure going to take some pictures of this with some Truly and some White Claw.
You fucking better not.
I'm going to go buy a bottle of Pink Whitney.
If you do that, I'm taking a picture of your TPT slide next to my hog and I'm sending it to you.
I'll post it on Instagram. I'll get banned. I'll get banned for it.
You'll just see a hog with a TPT slide next to it. I'd be like, here you go, bitch. That's what you get for your Truly. I'm just gonna bomb your phone with just phallic pictures of taints and penises.
Wow, it is so amazing how different Port Charlotte tastes after drinking Lafroig.
Well,
wow.
It's a funny thing. That's one of the things that I tell people when people are like, oh, how do you get into, I'm sorry if I keep like rubbing my eye, guys, but my contact, I don't know if you know anything about contacts, but it keeps like going out of focus and I have to like rub it for it to get back in its spot.
Oh, so it's just like your camera?
You got to rub it. But I tell people that are trying whiskey, trying one whiskey on its own sometimes is difficult to pick stuff out. But then if you try it with other whiskeys, then you have a point of comparison. And sometimes that helps you pull out flavors that you wouldn't have noticed before because you're like, oh, I see. This is smoky because it tastes way smokier next to this one that isn't as smoky, and so to speak. So that's a good technique sometimes for getting past not developing your palate when you're trying to get that going.
This has definitely got more like fruity notes to it. Like it's not fruity, but it's got kind of like a plum taste.
Well, and it might not taste fruity on its own, but then next to something else, all of a sudden you taste
Right. You drink Port Charlotte by itself and it's just a fucking peat bomb. But you drink it next to Lafroig and it pulls out some of that stuff you couldn't taste before. It's pretty cool.
Let's see. I'm on Jeremy.
YouTube star Jeremy Siers hog picture goes wild.
Okay, first off, YouTube star is a very kind comment because I would not call myself that by any stretch of the imagination.
YouTube hobo.
But yeah, YouTube hobo hog goes viral. That's so good. That's so. Is there a show next week? Or are we waiting a few weeks again? Love the show. No, the plan is, unless something in the backside of that, also not to blame it all on Taylor, what we were talking in the beginning, and I didn't bring it up because I don't talk about my personal life a ton. Like I talk about my personal life because, it's good to share with you guys, but like super personal stuff in my life, I don't get into because, well, you got to keep some things, but
Jeremy's getting a penis extension.
I'm getting a penis extension. I'm also getting
there were complications.
I'm also getting a taint fan installed in my leg, so that just always blows. No, but Taylor was having internet issues, and I was having some family things. My dad has been fighting cancer for years now. He's okay, but there are just some troubling times if you've ever dealt with anybody going through cancer, and occasionally I have to do some family things and spend some time with family and help my parents with stuff. And so I was really tied up and busy with personal stuff. He was having internet issues. So we were just like, you know what? Like, let's just fucking give it a couple weeks. You can get your internet fixed. I can deal with my family stuff, and then we'll regroup.
All right, you dealt with your family stuff. How did I deal with my internet stuff? Did I succeed?
Well,
do I get an A+?
For all intents and purposes, I didn't deal with my family stuff either because unfortunately Dad still has cancer. So I mean, neither one of us really fixed the problem. But the goal is to do this weekly. If we do have a week we miss or something, it's for extenuating circumstances, and it's something we can't avoid. But the goal is to be on here every week.
Yeah, we may miss some weeks, but I mean, the idea is to not.
Right.
Yeah. And we were going to do a live stream on Friday too. And my internet was just shitting the bed, and we just decided, and we got busy too, because end of the month is always the absolute worst time for us, but also all YouTubers. I mean, it's just always a brutal time, and we need to be able to work around that. But that paired with my internet issues, I couldn't figure it all out in the right amount of time, and we decided to push it back.
Yeah, dude.
So
I don't
here we
think
are.
people that don't do YouTube don't fully appreciate the end of the month scatter that you go through every month with brand deals that you haven't completed that you were supposed to have done, and just shit hitting the fan, and you're like, oh, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. When you run into those issues, it means things are going well and you're doing okay, which is great, but it definitely creates some stress sometimes toward the end of the month.
I had a Jeremy Siers situation last week. And some people might think this is like me insulting Jeremy, but he knows full and well what I'm talking about. I started a video no. I published it last week. I started it the Wednesday before, and I did not finish that video until October or September 30th, 31st, whatever the last day of the month was. I don't know anymore. What is that? Yeah, September 30th, last Wednesday. It took me a week. Took me a week to work on it. I mean, that's normal for you, a week.
Yeah, it usually takes me, it depends on sometimes it's just formulating the idea for the video and getting it all squared in my head before I film will take me a day just to get it all kind of planned out, how I want to shoot it, what I want to do, what I want to talk about, what I don't want to talk about. Like that can take me a day sometimes. And then usually takes me a day to shoot the video and all the B-roll, and then a couple days to edit, day or two to edit. So, I mean, yeah, I'd say a week might be pushing it, but I'd say easy 3-4 days. Easy for a video.
I guess it was last Friday. I don't remember. I don't remember yesterday, so I don't know what happened last week. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
The shit hitting the taint fan. that would be a place for shit to hit. If it's down there, it could definitely be hit by shit. Shit is hitting the taint fan. That's funny.
Jeremy being from Florida and having his hog run wild wouldn't even make a local paper. That's true.
It's true. Florida, man. That's normal behavior here in Florida.
But last week, because the video that I was working on got pushed back so far, I just had to like audible one day and spend one day making a video. And I came in, I planned a video, I shot it, edited it, uploaded, and published it, and went home and got home by 6. Dude, I felt like ass that day. Like when I finished that video, I felt like somebody needed to drag me to the truck, and I'm not doing a lot of physical work for that. I mean, there's some setup and stuff, but it's not hard, but just mentally I was done. And when you get so mentally and creatively drained after something like that, you're just like,
dude, it can be as bad. I've done very manual labor in my life.
Yeah. Same.
I framed houses. I mean, framing houses is that's pretty manual. I mean, other than like concrete work and stuff like that, there's not a whole lot more manual out there than framing houses. I mean, that's a pretty manual pursuit. But it's a different kind of tired, but it's the same, right?
Yeah,
like
it is.
You can get physically drained and you can get mentally drained. And I prefer physically drained.
Dude, I've told this to somebody before, and they told me I was full of shit. They worked like a trade job, and they get physically tired, and they're always working with their hands. And I'm like, look, I know you are not going to believe me, and I know that you don't think I know what I'm talking about, but I would take that. I would prefer to work with my hands over this mental and creative work. I wouldn't change what I do for a living because I enjoy it, but I prefer working with my hands and getting physically tired than I do mentally. Mentally exhausted is just the worst.
It's a different kind of thing, and it has a different effect on your body for sure. I agree. I actually always felt kind of good when I was physically drained after a hard day's work. You come home, you take a shower, you get cleaned up, you get you a nice cold
glass of water.
Chug a big glass of water, take a shower, get a nice cold beer or a glass of whiskey, and sit down. And you're mentally tired, but you're relaxed and you feel good. You know what I mean? Mental stress, just you're like fucking like it's a different kind of thing. But again, that's not me complaining. I love what I do, but it is a different thing.
This is a good way to put it. Physically drained is a good night's sleep. Mental shit stays with you.
It does.
Yes.
It's a different kind of thing. It really is.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not saying that
night, you're like, what did I get done today? Fuck, I forgot to do that. I got to do that. Okay, tomorrow I got to do that. Like your brain races and you don't ever turn it off.
Yep. And here's another good point. My job is stupidly mental draining, and then that robs the motivation to do anything physical as well.
Mhm.
Absolutely. If I work my ass off one day, like every year we go to my step grandmother's and we clear all the overgrowth from her driveway. And her driveway, I think if you measure the whole thing, it's close to a mile long. Dude, that's some shit work. Like just all day and just constantly cutting things down, trimming stuff, and just hauling shit. It just wears you out. And after that day, like I can sit down, I can watch a movie, I can enjoy it, and I'm just, whatever. After I spend a day like I did last Friday, where I just muscle through, not muscle, we're sitting here talking physical versus mental. When I just power through a video like that and just make one video in a day, when I finish it, I get home, I don't want to fucking do anything. I don't want to go to sleep because I'm not sleepy. I don't want to watch anything because I'm just like, I don't want to think about like, when I watch something, I think about like how they do that camera movement. Like I can't turn it off. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to play video games. I just want to like exist and not do anything.
Yep. I agree. Aircraft mechanic here. Wild Turkey 101 helps me unwind. I agree. Dude. Wild Turkey 1. Hey, that's a bottle you could probably get, Taylor. That's actually a really good budget bottle just to have on hand.
I might have seen it today. I don't remember.
You can usually get it for sub $25, and for the price, it's does it screw off? Where's my Wild Turkey 101? Actually, I think it's in the closet. I have my overflow over here. It's bad when your whiskey's shelves it's actually a good problem. They're so full, you have to have overflow in the closet because there's no room on your shelves anymore. But it actually finished pretty well in a whiskey blind I did on budgets.
Well, yeah. And it's just like this thing where I tried to explain it to Alex, and like doing this, I've been working since 9 this morning, right? I went home for like an hour to see Eleanor and I came back. So it's, almost 10. So it's a long day, 13 hours, 12 if you count the time off. And then after I finish this, I'm probably going to try to sit here and power through the edit. I'll probably get home by midnight. And Alex doesn't quite understand it most times. Like when I get home after a long ass day like this, I can't just like crawl in bed and go to sleep. No. I just can't do it. I have to unwind. And sometimes I just don't know how. And like, man, it's just, I'm not trying to complain. I enjoy my life. I enjoy being able to do all this, but I'm just saying it's different, and it's not something that a lot of people can relate to.
Yep. No, I agree. We go over that all the time. My wife would be like, "Why didn't you come to bed till 12 or till like 2? I thought you said you stopped editing around like midnight." I'm like, "I did," but you're so like hyped up.
Your brain is just
it's like your neurons are firing. They're on fire that like when you stop, I can't sleep. So I don't even try to go to bed after. I like turn on YouTube or turn on Netflix and just try to unwind for an hour or two before, because I know if I go to bed, I'm just going to sit there in bed like this.
Yep.
There was something I said.
Happens to me every single night if I try to go to bed early. If I go to bed before 2, that's what happens.
John C., what is your opinion of Blanton's being overhyped? I would say it probably is a little overhyped.
That's a really good point. Mental versus physical. Oh, sorry.
You're good. Let me just finish this Blanton's thought real quick. It won't be long. Real quick, Jeremy, real quick, Siers. Blanton's is definitely a cool thing to have. The bottle is one of the best in the game. The caps are super cool, and it is a very good bourbon. It's very good. I enjoy Blanton's, but the level of crazy hype that it have is probably a little over warranted, but it is very good, and the bottles are super cool. So it is one of those things I think everybody should have a bottle of it in their collection, but potentially a little overhyped.
I've looked for one every single time I've ever gone to an ABC store, and I've never found one.
I never could. My buddy got mine on a cruise, because in the duty free shop, he was like, "Hey man, they got Blanton's on the cruise. You mean to bring you a bottle?" I'm like, "Yes, please." It's super hard to find.
My buddy walked into an ABC store in Charlotte proper, which I should probably go to Charlotte because I'm right outside Charlotte. It's a 20-minute drive. And the selections there are just way better. If you go to South Carolina, just across the border, which is 40 minutes away, the selection, from what I hear, is incredible. So I just need to make a trip down there and spend $200 or $300, but Alex will murder me. So But yeah, this right here, mental versus physical exhaustion are both equally exhausting, but the physical keeps you in shape and mental makes you fat. Yeah,
True.
yeah, no joke. No joke. Look at me. And then also I was on the phone with Jeremy this week and he was taking photos and he was out of breath. So
Dude, I've got to get, the thing is, like, historically speaking, physical fitness has been a huge part of my life, right? Like, I've always worked out. I was a part owner of a gym for a while. Like, I've been into physical fit my entire life since I was very young. And the past couple of years, man, I just can't get a rhythm going. And I'll work out for a week or two, and then I won't work out for 3 months. And I just feel like a fucking turd. A turd. And I know I give people that advice all the time. I'm like, dude, work out every day. It makes you feel so much better. And I don't even follow my own advice. I know it. I need to do it. And then I get busy and I look up and my day's gone and then I don't. But man, you feel so much better when
people don't quite understand, especially like Alex. I mean, she sort of understands now because she's been dealing with this for as long as we've been together. But like, I sit down at my desk, I get here sometimes at 9, sometimes around 10, and I like start working on something, and I feel like I blink 2 or 3 times.
it's
and
like
it's
9
not.
o'clock.
It's like 6, and Alex is like, "When are you home?" And I'm like, I didn't get one thing done today. What the fuck happened?
But man, you should start trying to do some physical stuff. That helped when
No. I definitely want to.
When I was working out regularly, the mental stress didn't bother me as much because you're getting that release by doing physical activity. When you don't do that and all you do is mental activity all the time and no physical, you get fucking wonky, man. Human body was not meant to do that. It was meant to do shit, move around, work with your hands, do stuff.
So that is one thing I'm very excited for when I have the shop, because one of the things I want to do regularly, if not daily, is work on something and like physically work, use my hands, build things, make things, and not just sit all the goddamn time.
Dude, I used to love building stuff. And I have a pretty good little wood shop in my garage. And I used to love building furniture and stuff, man. It was a lot of fun. And you feel good when you do work with your hands. There's something about working with your hands that's very satisfying.
Dude, those 2-3 weeks that I was working on the trailer, I felt great. I was getting a lot done. I was getting more done than I normally do. There were weeks where I got 3 videos and this podcast done, and I'm just like, how the fuck did I do that? I mean, there's something that you lose when you sit at a computer. You just lose. I don't know what it is. Productivity, efficiency, time. You just kind of like lose track. And like this Monday, my plan was to come in here and plan out the whole week and do a couple of things. I sort of planned my week and I sort of took care of like 1 or 2 things, but it was like 9 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? What happened? And Alex was like, when are you home? And I'm like, I guess I'm leaving now. I guess, I don't know.
2 comments. One, dude, your table video was dope, Jeremy. Thank you. That was a video I did a while ago. I used to actually do videos on like little builds and stuff I would do.
And I did one of those and nobody ever watched it. I did one just like your table. Dude,
they're fun. It's fun doing little projects like that, man. It's fun. And then right below that, damn it, I just ashed in my lap again. That is the cigar smoker, the bane of all cigar. Fuck, there goes my stuttering. You know, it's funny on a separate subject. I think I'm allowed to make fun of. This is an argument between me and my wife. If you have a thing, aren't you allowed to like make fun of the thing?
Okay, Jeremy, being just incapable of saying a word because your brain is moving too fast or whatever it is, and somebody having a physical stutter, 2 different things. Okay.
I don't know though. I feel like I might have a low level speech impediment because I get fucked. I fumble my words a lot.
I think it's ADD, and your brain is thinking like 3 things and your mouth is trying to say 1, because I talk with you on the phone a lot. and dude, and I ask you a question and your sentence makes no sense because it's 3 different thoughts put into one sentence and none of it makes any sense together.
Which is why my videos take so long, because I go off on fucking tangents and I have to edit it all out. But it was funny today. We were on the phone and Taylor goes, Jeremy, focus, stop, focus. We just need to get this. We just need to get this straight so we can get off the phone because we both have shit to do. I just need you to focus for 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay. But blah, 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 blah. And Taylor's like, Jeremy, stop.
I told Jeremy to close his eyes because he was trying to do something on his computer. You were probably, I don't know what all you were trying to do, but I know you were trying to do what I asked you to do on your computer while I was talking to you. And you were starting a sentence. It's so funny because you'll start a sentence and then you start looking at what you're doing on your computer and you'll talk to that. You'll talk to the computer. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What is he talking about? And then he comes back to talking to me, like all without ever stopping. And I'm just like, I'm so confused. So I told him, I was like, close your eyes, talk to me for 5 minutes. We'll get off the phone and go back to what you were doing.
Yep.
You have to reel Jeremy in sometimes.
Yeah, that's me. But anyway, so the argument between my wife is I'm like, if you have the thing, you're allowed to make fun of the thing. Like other, midgets or small people are allowed to make small people jokes because, well, actually, based on what we were talking about earlier, you're allowed to joke about anything as long as it's from a good, place. But, if you have the thing, I feel like you're allowed to make fun of the thing. And being that I have a serious problem with speaking most of the time, I feel like it's fair for me to make fun of speech impediments. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Like if it's a defined, actual diagnosed speech impediment versus, I don't know, just general stupidity. I think it's a different thing.
No, I had a buddy growing up that had a legit stutter. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't make fun of a guy stuttering. That's just rude. But at the same time, man, I feel like I don't know, man. I think you might be right. It might be less of a speech impediment and more of a, my brain is running 150 miles an hour with gusts to 170 and my mouth can only keep up with about 80 miles per hour.
I definitely think that's probably more accurate.
Yeah. So it could be that.
Look, I just want to show you this. This just popped up because I had Instagram open earlier. Look at that.
Dude, what is that bottom knife? That's a crazy looking knife. I've never seen either one of those.
That's the Nugget. The top one you have seen because it's the same as my.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought it looked familiar, but the hole looks different. Is your hole bigger?
It's got the top one has a thumb stud.
Hey, Taylor's got a bigger hole than your hole's all wallowed out, son. Your hole's all wallowed out.
But look at that, dude. That is hot. That OD green micarta.
Those are both sexy knives for sure.
This one is the Nugget.
That's a super weird blade shape, but I like it.
It's a extreme sheep's foot. The backside's a little funky.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to look at while you're looking. Who or what is that? Who or what inspired my contact is fucked up, which is making it harder for me to read stuff. Who or what inspired y'all into whiskey and cigars? What got y'all started? Whiskey. I mean, I'm from Kentucky, bud, and I've said this before. They literally, when I was a kid, I think they'd probably report you these days. But when I was a kid, they used to rub whiskey on kids' gums when they were teething to help with teething pain. So, I mean, bourbon is a for real cultural thing in Kentucky. And that's where I was born. And that's where my family's from. So, it was just it's just a Kentucky thing. That's how I got started into bourbon and then just graduated into other whiskeys and scotches. Cigars. I was a smoker back in the day. And I don't know, I just started smoking cigars. I don't even remember what started me smoking them. I think it was just a natural transition. Seemed like back in the day when I was drinking whiskey, there was a lot of dudes smoking cigars. So I was like, hey, let me try one of those. And they go so damn well with whiskey that it just seemed like a natural thing. I used to smoke pipes quite a bit too. I don't smoke pipes near as much anymore because I get enough hipster comments as it is because of my beard and whatnot. Me with a pipe and the hipster comments just don't stop. It never ends. Plus, pipes are more finicky and it's a little harder. You got to tamp and it's the whole thing. So sometimes cigars are just a little more easygoing.
For me, whiskey just kind of happened. I think what really got me into it, as shallow as this may seem, is Parks and Rec. I really liked Ron Swanson a lot.
I love Nick. Try this Lagavulin stuff he keeps talking about.
That's not a joke. That actually is how it went. I really appreciate Nick Offerman as a person, not just an actor. I love Nick Offerman as a person. So I really resonated with Nick Offerman for a number of reasons.
He really does that woodworking and stuff too. That the legit guy. Yeah,
I know. And started talking about Lagavulin and the show, and they just kept going and kept playing and leaning into the joke. And man, I had to try it. I sucked it up, bought $100 bottle, and I'm like, holy shit. And then within about like 2 months, I'd probably spent like $600 on whiskey, and I'm like, oh, oops.
Dude, it's a rabbit hole. And that's another thing is, and me and you have both talked about it. We both like hobbies with depth, right? And I've had people tell me that whiskey isn't a hobby, it's just drinking. I actually had a guy make a comment on a video because I called whiskey, and I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself. If you don't think whiskey's a hobby, you're not doing it right. There's a lot of depth to whiskey if you really dig into it. So Nick Offerman is truly a man's man. I'm telling you, dude. Ship that man a man card. I agree, Davis. If I had that fucker's address, I would ship him one.
Actually, I feel like he would probably not like the man card. He's a little bit. Well, let's call him progressive. His political beliefs are very different from Ron Swanson's.
But I think being who he is and being that he played the character Ron Swanson, he could appreciate it. I think you could be right.
If you shipped it with a bottle of Lagavulin, maybe
for sure.
But he's not just a man's man. He's a true Renaissance man. Like he actually is. But for what got me into cigars, it's so funny. The first cigar I ever had, I was probably 22, 23 years old. And my buddy, Brandon Miniman, who owns Pocket Now and a couple of other websites, he had helped me start, I guess, one of my first businesses, which was a subscription service. I actually hinted at that earlier in the podcast, called Mod in a Box. And it was DIY projects that you would subscribe and you would get 3 DIY projects in a box every month. You get all the materials and the instructions on how to do it. And I would make videos. It was kind of cool, but I told him the concept probably wouldn't work. Right. So he funded it, and I moved up to Pennsylvania, and 4 or 5 months later it failed. Not like a hard failure. We just realized, like, we had subscribers and it was growing, but we just realized that the number of subscribers we had and the number we would need for it to succeed was off by like a factor of 100.
Sometimes you get into a business, and after you get it rolling, you realize this is going to be a lot of work for a very little amount of payoff, and maybe this just isn't worth my time.
Yeah, we're like, after we crunched the numbers and it came down to shipping a lot of the time, we were like, wow, we're going to need like 5,000 subscribers to this paid service to even break even without paying an employee. We're just like, it's time to go. That. So he got me a cigar, and we commemorated my first big failure with a cigar.
Hey, it's a thing, man. And it's kind of like a cultural thing, right? Like cigars have always been kind of celebratory, you know, like when you have a kid, people give out cigars and stuff. Cigars are just great. I don't know, man. I love them. I think they're awesome.
I enjoyed it. He gave me a little baby cigar, but I mean, I enjoyed it. And, you know, I've had a couple since then, not many. And dude, smoking has never been my thing. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've never smoked much of anything. I tried hookah once, and it wasn't my thing. And I've had a couple of cigars. It's just never been my thing. I grew up in a tobacco town, and I saw firsthand what it did to people who were a little too into it. You know,
I get it. Cigars and stuff, though, there's a lot of argument in whether or not how unhealthy cigars are. And there's debates. There's been tests they've done that say this, and there's people that rebuke that and say that those tests are false and blah, blah, blah. My opinion of cigars is, if you're not inhaling it down into your lungs, is it healthy? It's probably not healthy, but at the same time, it's not like smoking a cigarette. If you're in a well-ventilated area and you're smoking, and the amount of secondhand smoke you're getting is minimal, and you're not inhaling it, you're getting a little bit of the stuff in your mouth and stuff. So I guess there's maybe a slightly increased risk of mouth cancer and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near the spectrum of like smoking cigarettes. Like, it's not even in the same ballpark. So I think it's fine. And I actually saw one guy did a video that he said the minimal additional health risks by smoking a cigar, because of the fact you don't inhale it and so forth and so on, are far outweighed by the health benefit of it being a relaxing thing for you to unwind and relax for a couple hours a day, so that the stress relief benefit of it far outweighs any minute health problems that it might cause. So I don't know. I mean, there's tons of people that will argue one way or the other on that. That could start a whole fucking debate, especially if you get with these anti-smoker people that think cigars are cigarettes, which is pretty fucking ridiculous. But There was one I wanted to see. Somebody asked if either one of us had pets. We actually have one of the same pets. I have 2 Boston Terriers. He has a Boston Terrier.
I do have a Boston Terrier. I've had many Bostons in my life, but we also have a Lab Boxer mix.
Dude, Bostons are great. I've always had huge dogs. I used to have a Rottweiler, and then I had a Cane Corso, which I don't know if you know what a Cane Corso is, but they're fucking huge. He was like 150 pounds. He was ginormous. Had a head like a goddamn bulldozer. But
I also have a daughter who thinks she's a dog about 75% of the time. So,
and I've got 3 kids, which depending on the day, you could consider those animals. So, Isaac Clark.
Isaac.
I can't see, this one contact is fucking my world up right now. How can I grow a beard out like that? Dude, just let it grow, bro. Just let it grow. It's growing slow as fuck is a thing. And it looks like if your profile pic is you and not just somebody random, it looks like you're a black fella. You guys' beards are curlier, so they grow slower, right?
Like
Because
mine is super curly.
Right. So like you have so much curl in there that like if you pulled the hair straight, it would probably be as long as my beard, but like because it's so curly, it looks like it's growing slower because of the curl. My beard is actually really curly for a white guy. I've got very curly beard hair. But my thing is don't cut it too much. Let it grow. A lot of people get frustrated and they cut it too much because it's frustrating. They try to keep it like in a certain way. Let it grow. And yes, beard oil, keeping it healthy, because if it dries out, it'll break off and then it'll never grow because it'll just crack off. So keeping some good quality beard oil in it to keep that hair healthy so it doesn't break off is the thing. But being that, you know, how curly your beard probably is. Yeah, man, it takes black guys way longer to grow a long beard. Dude, I know some white guys, their beard hair is like straight. I don't have straight beard hair. Mine's pretty curly.
Mine curls a lot. Before I shaved it off last time, it was like down to here, but it didn't look any longer than it is now because it just curled back up. Like it just.
If I pull mine straight, I get an extra couple inches out of it. that could be. Yeah, I mean, it's just a patience game, man. Just keep it hydrated, keep some beard oil in it to keep it from breaking off, and just be patient. That would be my only advice for growing a long beard.
Can I just say that I kind of hate the color of my beard? Like on video, it just looks like this weird, like almost translucent reddish brown. It's weird.
That's the same color as mine. My beard's got a lot of red in it.
Yours has a lot of gray in it too.
Well, okay. First off, fuck you for bringing that up. No, mine does. But when I was younger, my beard was like the color of your beard. As I've gotten older, it definitely has gotten, especially in the front. I've got a very big gray streak in the front. But I have like 5 different colors in my beard. Like the under part of my beard is like dark brown, and then like the front and my mustache is like this reddish color, and then I've got this gray streak. Who gives a fuck, man? Let it ride.
Yeah, all mine, like all the hairs, like if you look really close, are different colors, but it just on camera, it looks like this weird fake color.
It does. I think that's one of those things. Your own worst judge, right? Your beard looks normal.
Like in the mirror, it looks fine, but when I see it through a camera, I'm like, why does it look hazy? Like my beard looks fuzzy and hazy.
Well, it could be fuzzy because just it's curly and it's short. The longer you get, it starts to get, and that's the other thing is the longer your beard gets, the weight of it kind of makes it look a little straighter. But dude, I know some white guys that have like legit straight beard hair.
See,
like
it's not just me. It's not just me. It's a little leprechaunish. See?
Well, I mean, me and Taylor both I think have some Irish descent. So, I mean,
Scots Irish here. So,
you know what I mean?
Irish, German, Native American. What a mixture. But no, I don't have the Keemstar beard, which comes down to a point. So I'm happy about that. But I don't know. Mine's just like, I don't have defined lines or anything. Alex told me I should go to a barber and have it like professionally shaped.
No, let it grow. That is my main thing. I tell people with beards all the time. Most people, unless you're like, I don't know, Hungarian maybe, or like, I think there's a lot of guys, they're like a lot of people from like the Ukraine that just have like crazy dense, thick facial hair, like super dense. Most people have a couple little spots and stuff in their beard that it doesn't grow in super thick. The longer it gets though, all that gets covered up. I have a couple little spots in my beard that when it was shorter weren't as thick as the rest, but then as it gets longer, all that fills out and it It looks fine. Just let it grow, man. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got a Joe Dirt beard and like you got like one patch of hair here and one patch of hair here and a patch on your chin, and there's like 3 inches of gap in between, some people just don't have the facial hair pattern to grow a good beard. But I think a lot of guys have a better beard than they think they do, and they just don't give it the time to fill out.
Can I just say that there's a YouTuber here on the platform who has a ridiculously like groomed beard, and I've always been jealous of it.
Who?
Super Saf.
Well, see, he is like, I don't know what ethnicity he is, but he's got that olive skin, super, super dark black hair. He's probably one of those guys that has just crazy dense beard.
Yeah.
And he also probably spends some time grooming that. But having a super dense beard, you can keep it shorter and it look more defined because you have that dense hair pattern.
Yeah, if mine's short, it looks patchy and gross as hell. It looks kind of patchy when it's long, much less when it's short. So yeah, I don't have that pleasure. I don't have that luxury, but my brother-in-law has a beard like that, the one that Super Saf has. It's just like thick. He can shave and like the next day it looks like he's trying to grow a beard. If I shave clean shaven, I look like this weird fucking worm alien dude for like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
You can't make me laugh when this is an expensive cigar. I want to enjoy every puff. And if I pull a puff in and you make me laugh and I blow it out, that's like a $3 waste of a puff. Don't do that to me.
I look really weird. And then it takes like a month for the beard to start like forming. This is coronavirus. I've not touched this really other than trimming the sides because mine grows out. So I trim the sides. This is since March.
Well, February, that's the other thing.
I don't know.
That's the other thing. And the guy Isaac that was earlier, like a lot of times, man, I know my beard, like I'll have to find some pictures of me when I was growing my beard out. My wife hated my beard for like 2 years. Hated it because it grows out for the longest time, dude. And you just look like a woolly fucking mammoth. Like there's no way to get it under control, man. It's just out of hand.
No,
but then
there's not.
But then as it gets longer, it's the weight, it starts to have a little bit of dangle. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of you get a little length on it and you get a little dangle. See what I did there?
Why? No, Alex hates my beard. She is like begging me to shave all the time. And I'm just like, yeah, but if I shave, how is Beard Brand gonna sponsor me? How am I gonna like?
Yeah, you can't shave.
I have like
definitely lose your
Dollar Shave Club, and Harry's like, "Hey, shave on camera," and I'm like, "I really don't want to though."
No, dude. Speaking of Beard Brand, we should give those guys some props, dude. Dude. Did you get the media kit with the deodorant?
No,
they just came out with some deodorant.
They like you more than me because you have a better beard.
Well, it's not the better beard. I just have more beard, right?
You have a better beard.
But they
my beard's like, we'll start below the chin.
Yeah, dude, I do have one of those weird beards though. Not all guys have it, that like it starts right below my lip. Like I don't have, even some guys with big beards, they have like a spot right here where there's no hair.
I got like nothing. This is like a little tuft and then nothing here.
Mine starts like, it comes out of the bottom of my lip. Like it's aggressive and it grows up to like here. I shave right here because I would look like fucking Teen Wolf if I let it all grow in, because I would have, those guys that have that syndrome. Strangely enough, I think it's Hispanic people that have it a lot. Where they grow like hair on their entire face. They're in like Ripley's and stuff. I think I might have parts of that because my hair grows.
It's just a birth defect.
It grows up to like here, legit. Like I cut like a good like half-inch or inch down because it like looks crazy when it's like below my fucking eye.
I trim like 3 hairs up in here. This is what grows, and I just don't touch it, other than like not getting the outward beard.
But what I was gonna say about Beard Brand, they came out with this deodorant that I just got it, so I can't give it any good words yet, but it's the same sense that they have all their other stuff in, but it's like legit, like all good ingredients, like all the Beard Brand stuff is. And it's just deodorant, which I only use deodorant now. I stopped using antiperspirant back a couple years ago because I don't know. I read a bunch of stuff that they linked like some of the ingredients in antiperspirant, like Alzheimer's and shit. I was like, fuck that. I'm out. So I just started using just deodorant, not antiperspirant.
What if they linked deodorant to also not being able to eat red meat?
Then I would just be a stinky bitch because I'm eating red meat, dude. That's matter of fact. I think I made a joke about that. Something with the man card. I think in the video or something, I made a joke about like if you drink a lot of soy, or if you like Truly, or if you don't like red meat, or if you need a safe space, then you shouldn't order a man card.
Dude, I do all three of those every day. I start my day off with a glass of soy milk.
Please tell me you're fucking lying.
This is my safe. This is my safe space.
Get the fuck out of here with the safe space. He's like, I have a whole wall of participation trophies, like all the things that I hate in life. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say the one time it's acceptable for soy is if you legit have like an intolerance to milk. Like if it gives you the shits every time you drink milk, it is not any insult to not drink milk if it gives you the runs, right? Like nobody wants to have swamp ass in the runs all the time. But other than that, fucking drink milk. I don't want to hear any of this shit. People weren't meant to drink cow milk. It's rude. You're taking the milk from the cow unwillingly. Oh, shut the fuck up. Just stop it. Just fucking stop it. People have been drinking milk since the beginning of time. Just fucking stop it with that shit. Jesus.
I would have more whiskey, but I don't think I can taste anything anymore after that Port Charlotte. So,
dude, after you go hard Isla, you're done. After
that's
you've
probably
gone deep
where
into
we should. Yeah, I've had two. So started with the old Statesman, and then went to Lafroig, and then Port Charlotte.
43.
Are you looking at the Isaac comment? Oh no!
I used to be into weightlifting. Once I got into whiskey, what did Isaac say? He said something about weightlifting. Oh, I'm 43. Oh, sorry. I used to be into weightlifting. Once I got into cigars and whiskey, it's like I said, I found a new favorite piece of comfort. Here's the thing, though, Isaac. You got to do both, man. And I have not been successful at it myself lately because, like I was talking earlier in the podcast, I've just been bad about doing my physical fitness regimen. But both is fucking fantastic, man. If you can,
there's a way you can do both, right?
If you get that good work, well, you could. Like
no. You pour 8 ounces of whiskey into into a blender bottle, and then you put your protein mix in that.
That's the man shit right there. Like, how do you make your protein shake with whiskey, bitch? That's how I make my protein shake. Fucking suck it.
Yeah, just down that shit, man.
Some of the best feeling I've ever had, though, man, is like having a stressful day, going and hitting the weights hard as fuck for like a couple hours. Really getting a good workout on, getting a good sweat on, taking a shower, and then going and smoking a cigar and having a glass of whiskey. Fucking money. You feel great after that. So if you can manage to do both, Isaac, you're in the house, man. The whiskey and the cigar taste even better after a nice workout, man. I think so, at least.
Tastes even better if you make your pre-workout with whiskey, right?
If you make the pre-workout with, I don't know, that I think that has to be a post-workout. The pre-workout would fuck you up because then you'd be relaxed and you wouldn't have your swell on. You couldn't be pumped for the workout because you'd be all relaxed and just wanting to chill out. The post-workout protein shake though with whiskey could fucking be a thing. We should make whiskey flavored protein powder. Maybe that's a missed thing that people have not done yet.
I don't know that would be a good idea.
Probably wouldn't, but it sounds good in theory, right?
No, it does not.
Oh, the other thing I was going to say is on the fitness thing, I've got one in my bedroom, strangely enough. And you guys are going to be like, what the fuck? Okay, 2 things. These are public service announcements to everybody.
Jeremy, a fleshlight is not workout equipment.
It's not? I mean, I can't think of a better forearm workout. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No. 2 things that I think people maybe don't know about that are life changers. Okay. So for all you guys that are still here, how many people are still in chat right now?
175.
175 of you fucking legends out there. Okay. Check this out. One of these is not anything to do with physical fitness, but it'll change your life. And I've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's worth mentioning. Bidet. Get a bidet. It'll change your life. Okay. They make the ones now.
I am personally revoking your man card right now.
Get the fuck out of here. There's nothing not manly about having a clean ass. Okay. Swamp ass is fucking horrible. There's nothing wrong about having a clean ass. Having that fresh out of the shower feeling after a dump is fantastic. Okay. They have the ones now. I forgot the company that makes the ones. You put them right on. They go under your toilet. You don't have to buy a separate thing. It's not expensive. I think you can get them on Amazon for 20 or 30 bucks. Fucking life changer. Okay. Life changer. Second thing, sauna. Sauna is a fucking beautiful thing. Get in there and get your sweat on. There's all kinds of studies. Joe Rogan did a whole podcast about it once, about these heat shock proteins that are released when you sit in a sauna. Saunas are great, dude. It's real big over in like the Swedish culture, like over there. That's like a huge thing. Like everybody has them over there, and like their life expectancy is higher, and they relate it back to their use of sauna. Like saunas are great, man. Get you a good fucking workout in, hit the sauna for 30 minutes, take a nice shower, cigar, whiskey. If you take a dump, use the bidet. You're welcome. Your life is a better place now. I'm just saying.
Randall Oak says, I always end up having to shave my beard when it gets sore. How do you deal with that, Jeremy and Taylor? I don't really have that problem.
What do you mean sore? I'm a little confused about sore. I never got sore from growing my beard. Now you do go through the wretched itchy phase that will drive you fucking bananas.
I don't really have that either. I don't
really. When you've clean shave, like the first like month, it doesn't itch you to death. Really? I definitely had an itchy phase. I never got sore, but I definitely got itchy. And a good way to deal with that, or some of it is just, and I'm not being rude to you, my brother, is just you got to fucking man up and kind of deal with a little bit, because there is a phase that it's going to not be the most comfortable thing in the world for sure. But beard oil actually helps that because it softens the hair. And what's itchy is the hair coming out of the skin and curling out as it's growing and digging back into your face. So using some beard oil, even when your beard's short, helps soften up your beard hair and really helps with the itchiness of the beard. But it doesn't completely resolve it. And there is just a certain amount of like, fucking deal with it. And after like you go through that phase, and when it's done, it's gone, and you don't ever have to deal with it again. My beard does not itch me at all, ever. I don't even know it's there.
Yeah, I don't really ever have an itchy beard, and even when it's a little shorter, it doesn't really bother me. So
no.
Yeah, maybe for a day or two, but it's not anything ever bad. And I think it might also have something to do. I've got kind of an oily face, always have, and that might have something to do with it because my beard doesn't dry out much either. So I mean, I use longer, it will, yeah. But I use beard oil, but I mean, I don't have to every day. Here's a good question. Or not, well, sort of a question. I agree with the sauna, but what the fuck? I just came back, just watched Blade HQ's live stream. After it ended, I come back to fleshlights and bidets.
Hey, that's whiskey night, bitch. That's how shit goes up in this piece.
All I have to say is Jeremy Siers. That's it. I mean, that's the whole explanation.
Oh shit. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But I'm telling you, hard workout, sauna, bidet, shower, whiskey, cigar. I'm telling you, man, if you do those things and tell me your life is not better for those things, then I'll put in with you. You come back and tell me you've changed those things in your life and you do not feel better. I will be amazed. Beard drift. Somebody said beard drift. Beard drift's a real thing. Beard oil also helps out with that. Keeping
I don't have that issue either.
A lot of people do. Their beard gets dry and stuff, and you get a lot of flaky and dandruff and stuff. The beard oil definitely. A lot of people argue the beard oil is for your skin as much or more as it is for the hair because it helps the face. So definitely a good beard oil, and not to pump Beard Brand because obviously I work with them, but it is a great product. They use really, it is expensive. They're not the cheapest beard oil out there, but there's a reason for that. They use really high quality ingredients. And if you don't like the smell of old money, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you.
It smells really good. Oh, I think I like Temple Smoke more.
Temple Smoke is my other favorite. Those are the two that I always get. Temple Smoke and Old Money. Those are my two. My son loves Temple Smoke. He uses the styling stuff in his hair, and he's always like, Dad, we're out of Temple Smoke. What the hell's going on? And I'm like, sorry. I'll let Beard Brand know.
Beard Brand also has a white label product at Target.
Yep.
From what?
Uh-oh. Taylor's checking out again, guys. He actually had a good run there. He was there for a while. We'll see if he actually comes back. I think what he was going to say, though, is the white label stuff. It's their kind of more entry level. It's a little bit of a cheaper stuff, and they do sell it at Target. I prefer their gold line products just because I like the scents in the gold line better. For what I understand, if I'm saying this correctly, I think their 3 lines have similar ingredients as far as the oils that make up the beard oil. The quality and quantity of the fragrance is what I think increases with the gold line stuff. I think he's back. What were you saying about the white label stuff? Nope, he's not back. He's kind of back. He's not back. He's not back. He's Lego man. He's staring. Tree Ranger is good. Yeah, Tree Ranger I think is one of their white label products. A lot of people like their white label stuff. They really like the scents. The Tree Ranger. There's one called like citrus something or another, I think. I just love that gold line, man. The Old Money and Temple Smoke. I love that shit. I'm addicted to it. I got to get close, guys. My contacts are fucked up. Best cigar under $8. That's tough. It really depends on the day of the week. You asked me that, but one of my go-tos that I always tell people, he's back. One of my go-tos that I always tell people about is the AJ Fernandez New World. I love that cigar, and I don't know, it's just a solid semi-budget cigar. What were you saying about the white label stuff, Taylor? Are you back now, or are you going to glitch up again?
Nope, I think I'm sort of back. I mean, I can hear you.
Oh God, dude, my fucking thing. Oh, dude, I was stuck hard that time. That beard hair was hung in that microphone.
I'm so shit right there. Over this internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I can hear you. You're gonna have to. What were you saying about the white label shit? Quick.
The white label uses the same ingredients. It's just a different scent that is specific to Target. You can get it there for much cheaper, and it's not bad. It's like a cedar smell, which I enjoy. So I also have some white label.
Well, and from what I understand, I actually talked about that in the brief second that you were gone. From what I understand, the scents that they use in the gold lines are more expensive. Like the actual stuff that makes those fragrances is what makes those the more expensive. The actual oils that make up what is good for your beard, I believe, is the same in all the lines they have. I think the fragrances, the whatever it is that makes up the fragrance is more expensive, and they use more of it, I think, from what I understand in the gold line, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah.
Stone Base, I use the new one they just came out with, actually. That one's pretty new.
I use the white label sometimes, but ever since they sent me some Temple Smoke, I've been,
Dude, the Temple Smoke's hard to beat, bro. It is hard.
I saw someone ask earlier what cologne we wear. I use a roll-on. I know you use sometimes Old Money from Beard Brand.
Well, dude, that's what I was going to say. Beard Brand. I know I totally feel like I'm just fucking marking out to Beard Brand right now. I actually will use some cheap aftershave sometimes, like the Clubman aftershave. Like it smells like the powder they use in the barber. It's super cheap. It's old school stuff. It's been around since probably like the 40s or maybe even before, but I like the smell of that stuff. But as far as like actual cologne, Beard Brand came out with their own line of colognes, and they're fucking excellent. I mean, they are.
I need to get you on some Musk and Hustle.
I was about to say, you're a Musk and Hustle guy.
Musk and Hustle number 24 is the shit. It smells so good. Actually, I have some right here.
The other one I used to use, and I can't think of it. I've got a bottle of it downstairs. Aqua di Gio. I believe it's Aqua di Gio, but it's not the Aqua di Gio normal. It's in a black bottle. It's like Aqua di Gio black or Aqua di Gio dark or something. It's actually got a little bit of patchouli in it, which is really good.
So Musk and Hustle is a roll-on.
And see, what they're doing there is they incorporated leather, which is awesome. And you can throw that in your EDC, and then you got something that will patina.
I wish I could explain this scent to you.
Does it smell anything like Old Money?
No. It's much more like, I hate to say the word fruity, but it's more fruity and bright.
I mean, that's legitimate.
But dude, I just... God, it just, it smells so good. It gives me almost the same feeling that I get when I pop open Lagavulin. Like it's not the same smell, but I get the same feeling from it.
You get that same.
To show you this. Yeah, I got to show you this. This is where we should probably wrap it up, but I have to show you this.
You're about to wrap it up right now because you're cutting out. Aqua di Gio Perfumo.
Wait, am I back?
That is what it is. You're back.
I'm back. Okay, I want to show you this real quick, and then we're gonna get off here because actually, there we go. I posted this on Instagram yesterday, so you may have seen it, but you may not know what's so special about this knife. Can you see it?
It looks like a Lego, but I mean, I can kind of see the general shape of it.
Oh, damn it!
What's so special about the knife?
You can't see it. Am I still Legoing?
Kinda. It's a little clearer now, but it's still not perfect.
So it's a wood-handled traditional knife, pretty big. I mean, this is a big traditional, right? Right. It's probably like 8.5 inches overall. It's a slip joint with a liner lock.
Oh, that's even better because that's my main gripe with slip joints is I'm always afraid I'm gonna like cut my fucking finger off.
Yeah, so it will not close. But push that liner and look at this. I mean, it is snappy as hell. It's a finger guillotine.
Oh my God, you're making me nervous. Oh Jesus. They could use that at a fucking what do they call the Jewish circumcision ceremony? A bris? No, that's not a bris.
I don't know, but look at this.
Oh God, you're making me nervous. Oh Jesus Christ! I keep picturing like the tip of your finger just going thunk right on the fucking podcast. Just oh God. Somebody, I gotta bring this up real quick. Because somebody just said it. This shit really did smell good. Somebody had sent me a bottle of this once, and it did smell great. Where was it? Here it is. Ron G says, Jeremy, you got to at least give some props to Smolder from Blades Grim. Somebody had sent me a bottle of that, and yes, that stuff did smell outstanding. I didn't order another bottle of it just because I've used Beard Brand for so long. It's just what I'm familiar with, and I love it. But that stuff did smell freaking great. I mean, it smelled fantastic. It was a very, very good. I didn't use it long enough to know if it made my beard feel better or worse as far as the ingredients and stuff. It seemed like it was good, but the scent of it was fantastic. So yes,
I'm curious what the Muskin Hustle is. I know it's it's so funny if you search Muskin Hustle, 24 pops up as the only number that is a recommended search.
That's weird
because it's so much. I've harped on number 24 since it came out. It is Nitro Musk. Muskin Hustle's take on Aventus, which is another cologne. So they take a cologne and then they put their own spin on that fragrance, right? So they try to mimic it, but give it their own little flair. I'm trying to see if it's got any like scent notes or anything.
I'm trying to read. Man, this contact is really making reading this shit hard.
Sweet / wood is the smell. Which I get. I was gonna say it's kind of got like a woody smell, but it's not like pine. It's just
sweet wood. You like sniffing sweet wood?
I do.
See what I did there? I did it again. I'm sorry. Paul Walsh says hi from Ireland. What's up from Ireland? Dude, I want to go to Ireland. Can I just say that real quick? I know I'm jumping all over the place and we're going to go in a minute, but can I just say that I really want to go to Ireland? I really want to go to Ireland.
We should eventually take this podcast to Ireland and do it at either like the Ardbeg or Lagavulin distillery.
Well, that's in Scotland, not Ireland, right?
Oh yeah, Scotland. My bad.
But they're. I don't think they're. I mean, they're pretty close,
they're
right?
Side by side. They're neighbors.
You can get close. So I would like to go to both of those places. Honestly,
my bad. I think we should take it to Lagavulin or Ardbeg, and maybe even. Do you have any good Irish whiskey recommendations? This is a good question because
here's what I'm gonna say about this. And this is gonna offend some people. And my brother from Ireland over there. I'm not trying to piss him off. I have not found an Irish whiskey that I love. Okay,
I've not found one I like. I have not at all.
The one that I keep getting recommended that I have not pulled the trigger on yet because it's a little bit more of an expensive bottle is Redbreast. No, Redbreast cask strength, not normal Redbreast, but they have like a cask strength Redbreast that a lot of people say is really good.
I hear Proper 12 is amazing.
I hear Proper 12 is hot fucking garbage, is what I hear. I would tell that to Conor McGregor, even though he'd probably knock me the fuck out directly after I said it. He'd probably knock about 3 of my teeth out because he is a legit badass. But I've just heard that it's not great. I mean, but he's a fighter. He's not a fucking whiskey maker. So I mean, I can't blame the guy. But
He's a billionaire off his whiskey. So
I have not heard good things about that whiskey.
No, I haven't either.
But I've heard a lot of people say that Redbreast cask strength stuff is delicious.
Everybody in the comments who said Jameson, sorry, I disagree. That stuff is harsh and gross.
A lot of people love it, man. It's like
I know, but I don't like it
for a lot of folks. And I know a lot of people that love Irish. So I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't know, man. I just haven't found one that like really spoke to me. Right. Redbreast cask strength. There was another one that somebody just said in here that was another one. Green Spot. So a lot of people have told me I should try. I have not tried that one either.
I'm sorry. The Irish people, you can have beer, but the Scots have whiskey.
Well, Irish people make my favorite beer of all time.
Don't say Guinness.
Yeah, dude, that shit's delicious.
It's
okay.
I got my fill of it a long time ago.
Here's another thing that another one of these. You're welcome, and I've said this before. Cigar, Guinness, chocolate covered espresso beans. Chocolate covered espresso bean. Chew on it. Chew that up. Take a little sip of your Guinness, a little puff of your cigar. Get the fuck out of here if that's not a life-changing event. It is delicious. The chocolate and the coffee.
And while you're sitting, while you're getting sprayed by your bidet, right?
Well, I mean, that might not be bad. I mean, I'm just saying it could be a good experience. I don't know.
This is revolving.
Spray while you're enjoying your stuff, but no, the chocolate and the espresso bean bring out those like espresso and chocolate notes in the Guinness, and it's delicious. Fuck you, Davis. I am not a bitch when it comes to beer. I like Guinness, which I would argue is a more manly beer. I mean, that shit's a stout, man. It's like black and dark and awesome.
No, he didn't say you're a bitch when it comes to beer. He said you're a basic bitch.
Oh, basic.
It's a different thing. That's a different thing. That means you're the equivalent of the girl that goes to Starbucks and wears Uggs and her yoga pants. Pumpkin spice latte. Yeah, you're the equivalent of that when it comes to beer.
Okay,
I
David.
can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I retract my. I unfuck you. I apologize. I might be a little bit of a basic bitch when it comes to beer. I don't know, man. I guess you would call me a basic bitch because I do tend to like more bougie. I don't know. I don't think Guinness is a bougie beer, though, is it?
No, Guinness is a cheap pedestrian beer.
Oh,
it is. It's a cheap pedestrian beer. You can find it at every grocery store, and it's affordable. The beers I drink are like, maybe you get it, and the next time you go, it's not there, or maybe they make it one time and they may never make it again, and it's about $20 for a 4-pack.
So one could argue you're more of a basic bitch about beer than I am.
No, I'm to cigars and whiskey as you are to no. How do I phrase this? I am to beer as you are to cigars and whiskey.
You're a connoisseur.
You
like
I'm a fanatic.
You like the boutique. That's what they would call a boutique cigar, like a small manufacturer who doesn't make a lot, but they
microbreweries.
Right. Let's see. We need to jump off soon. It's been 2:41. We said under 2 and we're almost at 3.
Yep, that happened.
David said you're a snob, so suck some of that there, Taylor.
I am a bit of a beer snob. I am. I don't like cheap beer. Like I bought a case of Oktoberfest, Sam Adams Oktoberfest, and I've struggled through every single bottle. Like it's just
you don't like Oktoberfest?
It's just okay.
Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite, like normal, like non-stout beers. Like I love some Oktoberfest. That's some good beer.
Oktoberfest is okay.
I enjoy a good Oktoberfest now. That is another. I forgot about it because I haven't gotten any lately, but I do. Oh, it's probably out now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been out for a few weeks, for a while, actually.
I might need to go pick up a thing of that. I don't know, man. Beer just always makes me crazy full. That's why I stick with whiskey. I can sip on whiskey and I'm good. Whiskey and a cigar. I start drinking beer, I get all full. And
dude, I've been carrying a flask around lately. Not gonna lie.
Ah, the flask. I'm telling you, man, it's a beautiful thing. Little sip of whiskey. I'm telling you. Let's see. What's the hobby? Also, Sony camera or Canon. Oof, Isaac. That's a whole can of worms. We don't have time to get into because we're wrapping it up. Taylor's always just briefly. Taylor's always been a Sony guy. I have historically been a Canon guy. However, with this new overheating Canon debauchery that they've had recently, I actually canceled my R5 pre-order and pre-ordered a Sony A7S III, and I'm going to try out the Sony system because I think that seems like a pretty outstanding fucking camera.
How do you feel about the A7? Was it 3C?
What's that?
You didn't see that?
Did I miss a release? Was it a Canon or a Sony? I mean, it's got to be Sony if it's an A7.
Sony A7C3. It's their affordable mirrorless full frame with a flip out screen, and it is the one I'm going to get over the A7S III. The A7S III is nice, but I don't have the cash to spend on that. So,
well, I'm trading in my 1DX Mark II, so that should pay for the majority of my A7S III, and then I'll just pay the difference. That's a good thing about once you get some camera built up, you can always kind of trade in, and it kind of takes a little bit of the brunt of the sting out of getting a new camera. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to trying the Sony out. It looks like it's got some really cool stuff. But
all right, so you haven't touched your camera in a while, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right, so try to autofocus on your hand really close.
Okay, look, calm down.
Hang on. Let's see it. Hold on. Let's see it. No. Don't touch it. You touched it. You touched it, you motherfucker. I didn't
touch anything. What are you talking about?
You woke the camera up. You asshole. You had to wake the camera up to autofocus. Look, I haven't touched this camera since we started. It's been almost 3 hours. Look. Boom.
Yeah. No, there's for sure some stuff that Canon does that Sony does better. And there's some stuff that Sony does that Canon does better. Like it's honestly, man, these days cameras are so fucking good that you're arguing over semantics. You know what I mean? It's like, they're all good.
Profile, blah, blah, blah. Look,
yeah. I mean, they're all good, man. They're all good. And a lot of people would argue it's what you do with it, not the person behind the camera more than it is the camera itself. So
yeah, when you're dealing with the Jeremy Siers in front of the camera, that's an uphill battle for you, my guy.
You are struggling. I gotta get expensive lenses and shit just to try to put pro mist filters to try to like fucking take out some of the fluff. I love a good pro mist filter. Take some of the wrinkles out.
Oh, I don't have that problem yet. I got that nice alabaster skin.
Alabaster. Good word. Alabaster.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up here because we've been going for quite some time. My internet is about to shit the bed.
Oh, Ron, he sent me. I'm sorry. I totally just derailed you, but he said he's the one that sent me the smolder, you dork. Sorry, Ron. Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy. That shit was awesome.
You of course derailed me because
I'm sorry. I just saw that and I was like, oh, that's the guy that sent it to me. I feel like a dick that I said that.
That's your MO. I'm like trying to tell you to focus on the phone earlier today. I'm like, Jeremy, focus for 5 minutes, please. Just 5 minutes. And you're like talking about the squirrel running past your window.
It's a thing, man. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Go ahead, Taylor. Close it out, son. Close it out. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sticking around for the several weeks that we've been dealing with issues. 2, dealing with our technical issues, my technical issues, and 3, hanging out for us for almost 3 hours as we, just shot this loose cannon off with no agenda. We just kind of showed up tonight and just wanted to talk and hang out. So
don't forget to mention the drops one more time.
Yeah, there are some drops. You've got this little sissy card in brass right here.
Man card, bitch. Man card.
It says something about drink more truly on the back. I don't know.
Taylor, I swear to God, I'm going to dick punch you. I'm going to straight punch you in your dick.
It says man card only to be displayed when you order a truly on draft.
I'm dick punching you. That's it. Where did I put my slide? Where's the slide?
Throw it away.
Let me get ready. Okay. Get the hog out. You're getting the hog slide picture after the damn podcast.
We get some TPT Topo slides that are going to drop. Both of those are going to drop on Friday at noon Eastern Daylight Time. Everything is going to be linked down below. You go to jeremysiers.com or Carry Commission or Exclusive. It's all linked down below. Thanks again for hanging out. And you have any closing words? Anything you're working on? Anything you want anybody to know about?
Nope. You covered it, man. The drops Friday at noon. I've been so busy dealing with these drop this week that I have not planned my video for the week. So I don't know what video I'm doing this week. I will hopefully have a video out at some point this week. Leaf and Barrel coming this month. Luxury Cigar Club coming this month. Some other stuff. Just shit happening. We'll see. My brain's too scattered today from all the other stuff going on to have any formulated thought.
Yeah, join the Discord if you want to see Jeremy's hog. Oh man, this is really taking a dive, hasn't it? I just posted a Q&A earlier this week. I don't have much going on really. I've just been trying to take care of business. I got some other videos I'm working on, but nothing solidified just yet. So just stay tuned, subscribe. I'm sure if you're here, you're probably subscribed to both of us already. So I'm not gonna blast you with all that. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you soon. And just in case you forgot, Patina on
that man card. Patina. Come on, Patina.
Good night, guys.